Hello, welcome back to the Hivemind Recap Podcast. Today we are discussing all of the new releases that we wanted to talk about from September 2025. Quite possibly the most... I was going to say stacked month of the year, but that's a high bar given how good August was last month as well. But there was a lot of goods this month.
You know the image of Goku in the crater? I have
that's
that.
Yamcha.
Or is it Yamcha?
Big,
okay.
Yeah, that's the Yamcha pose.
Oh, it's Yamcha. Okay.
Big fan. Goku the goat could never be caught lacking.
I only know the fucking meme because they look so close together.
They do. They were in the same outfit. I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Just once. You get one pass.
Hell yeah.
Anyway, the point I was going to make is that there were a lot of big releases to come out of September. Just a quick rundown. We've got 13 singles, we have 3 EPs, and we have 5 albums?
6, I think.
6 albums? 6 albums. 6 albums, 3 EPs.
And we skipped, we didn't add like 2 or 3 albums, I think, right?
I think my official tally for the amount of albums I listened to in September was like 13. So there's a lot left out. With that being said, I think one of the common threads of 2025 has been that the overall bell curve of music this year has been fairly flat. Like, there hasn't been a lot of really bad albums, but there hasn't been a lot of like really great albums. I feel like September has started rounding out that bell curve.
I would say so.
At least in my opinion, I heard some of my favorite albums I've heard all year, and also I think I locked in like 4 of my 5 least favorite albums I've heard all year this month. So
I mean, that is true.
There is definitely an incline. I think we got like the next 2 months of like very, very good albums, and then like December is just a flat line.
It usually is.
Yeah, it usually is. Can we get shorter than our December recap from last year? We were like barely an hour on our December recap last year. You'll have to subscribe and follow for more to figure that out.
This guy's shameless, dude.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are getting close to 300 subscribers. Hivemind Radio on YouTube. Hivemind Recap Podcast on Spotify and other podcast platforms. And Hivemind Radio _ on Instagram and Twitter. So let's get this episode started with concert talk. I went to 2 shows since we last recorded an episode. Am I the only one that's gone to anything?
Over my head for once.
So I guess I was the only one that has gone to a show in the past month, and I've gone to 2. So the first show that I went to was Hot Milk, Loud and Fast Across the USA in Hamden, Connecticut. The travel experience there and back was more complicated than it needed to be, but I'm not going to get into that. Point being, Hot Milk, for the second time this year, I have now seen them live, a band that I've been dying to see for like 5 years, and I get to see them twice within a matter of 6 months is incredible. But this time was a headliner, not just an opener. Their set was awesome. They unfortunately did not play 2 of my favorite songs from Corporation Pop. They didn't play How Do I Make the Devil Fall Asleep, which is the album opener, and they didn't play Sympathy Symphony, which was the album closer, which I was really surprised about because the closer got the music video treatment. So clearly I'm assuming that because it was one of those like slow build songs that they just didn't feel like it had the energy for the live show. But I was really hoping to hear that one. I did finally get to hear Glass Spiders, which they did not play on their opener set, which was awesome. They did a full acoustic of Breathing Underwater, compared to in Hartford when I was just breathing underwater as normal. And then they also did a reimagined version of Candy Coated Lies that made the song way more punk and heavier. And I don't know if they're ever going to re-release it for like a studio version or whatever. They said that they did this change because they got bored of playing the song the original version, so they changed it up. And it could just be that it's been like 2 weeks since since the show happened. But it almost sounded like they turned Candy Coated Lies into the Animals Architects riff, which does not sound like it should work, but it did. It was great. Other highlights from the show: Sunburn from Your Bible. Hannah jumped into the pit with her mic stand during that song, which was crazy.
Yeah.
I did not
a lawsuit waiting to happen.
I did not have a great view of it because I was very far off to the side. And then she also crowd surfed while singing along during Party on Your Deathbed in the encore, which was pretty awesome. Overall, yeah, one of my favorite performances I've seen all year. Shout out to the 2 openers as well. I wasn't super familiar with them. Anthem's local opener from Connecticut. They were pretty cool. And then, actually, before I move on, Anthems, I believe they are releasing their debut EP in like 2 weeks. So I might be checking that out. They put on a pretty good opening set. And then Save Face were the main opener for the tour. And again, I was not super familiar with them, but they definitely set the energy, very emo, pop punk, bit right in line with what I was expecting for the show. That's kind of all I have to say about that one. Next show I went to happened just a couple days ago now. I saw Future Palace on their North American headline tour with support from Hawk and Half Me. The show had 2 local openers. I got there a little bit late though, so I missed the first local opener. The second local opener was Fathom Farewell, who I'd actually seen at the Webster like pre-pandemic. So it's been a while since I had last seen them, and they were better than I remember. Not that I really remembered them at all, but I came out of it with one song from their local opener set that I was like, wow, that's actually pretty good. And I found it on YouTube later, and I was like, yeah, that's really good. Shout out Fathom Farewell. Half of Me, not super familiar with. They were heavy. That's kind of all I have to say. They put on a good set. And then Hawk played after them. They played everything off of that 2020 EP other than the song that featured Rory. And then they played
the best one off that album, or EP, in my opinion.
And they played the 2 songs that they have released since then. And that was their set. And then Future Palace, their headliner was amazing. It was on a Thursday night in Worcester, so it was not sold out at all. I was able to get like super close to the stage, and probably one of the closest I've ever been to a stage. And to be able to see Future Palace in that context is something I'm very grateful for, because obviously they're a fairly small German band. It's fairly unlikely I will see them on the East Coast anytime soon unless something crazy happens with this next album cycle for them. I'll talk more about their set later because they did drop a new song this month that they did play live. So I'll share some of my thoughts on that later. But yeah, it was a fantastic headline show. Really stoked that I got to see them and crossing off an arguably top 10 favorite band of mine off of my bucket list. So that was pretty sick. Which takes us to our playlist or not.
Well, I was about to say, literally tomorrow, I think I'm going to go, I think it's a Nerve and a couple other bands are playing tomorrow in Virginia Beach. Only reason I haven't convinced myself to do it yet is because I'm literally flying out the next day. So I don't know.
At what time?
I fly out at 11, so it's not too bad.
Nah, that's fine.
It's
doable. Archers, Nerve, Virtue, and Dead Eyes.
Oh, that tour.
Oh yeah, Justin.
That's a fire tour. You should gotta go to that show.
So I'll probably go to that one. We'll see.
Listen, God forbid you get sick from the show. You can just blame it on the airport the next day. It's fine.
I mean, it's Norfolk, so probably I wouldn't blame it.
I actually almost went to a third show. The day after Hot Milk, Bless the Fall, we're playing in New Haven with opener support from Colorblind, Dark Divine, and Miss May I. But the new Bless the Fall album did not make this playlist for a reason, so...
Oh, yeah. I remember I listened to that one.
All right, let's get started with the actual playlist for this month. Did you have something you want to say, Derek? I feel like I keep trying to get this thing moving along, but
no, you're good, man. I was just gonna say that I feel like Bless the Fall, like I Prevail, I See Stars, all kind of big names that just did not make it in because they were.
Dude, I totally forgot. I actually forgot.
I not only did I forget until now that we forgot about it, I forgot to listen to it. Like I album's so forgettable, I forgot it came out. I did listen to part of it. It was interesting.
I See Stars and Bless the Fall, but Bless the Fall was okay, and then I See Stars was, as we know.
Yeah. A lot of big names putting out some middling albums this year, I can't lie. Hopefully it's just
what other bands dropped albums this month that we didn't talk about? Or that we aren't going to talk about. Carbine was an EP. Silverstein put out the other half of their album. Not Enough Space, Arrows in Action from Fall to Spring, Villain of the Story, and Dying Wish. That's the list of other albums I listened to this month that did not make the playlist.
Man, I started to listen to that Dying Wish album and everything went to hell in a handbasket, and it's just I haven't had time since. Would not be surprised off the first half of the album I've heard if we talked about it again later this year. So we'll see.
I mean, we could. You haven't finished it yet. I'm not going to force that. All right, let's actually get started with this episode. Derek, you have the first song in our playlist tonight.
For the first time in forever, Emarosa are back with their newest single, The Edge.
Oh yeah, they're back.
Oh, they are so back. We don't talk about Scorpion. Scorpion didn't happen.
What Scorpion? What?
Right? Their last album had a couple of good songs on it, I think, but overall it was trying too hard to be an 80s synth pop record in 2023, and it just didn't really stick the landing. I don't think it was particularly well executed just as a whole. This to me feels like the natural continuation of what I would have expected when Ready to Love dropped in like 2019, 2020. That it's not trying too hard to be a pop song. It's more an earnest and honest kind of post-hardcore influenced poppier track. That I guess Scorpion was missing a lot of the personal touches from Bradley Walden, and this definitely feels like it was written more from the heart. I can tell that based off of the lyrics that he's had some time to really think and contemplate, and that I am now expecting, because of that fact and off the strength of this single, that this is going to hopefully be attached to an album. I think they said album 2026 as a teaser.
They are teasing that they're probably announcing it come this next single dropping next week.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm pretty sure they're announcing it.
I'm going to be really sad if the single that follows this isn't quite as strong, because what we have here is an incredibly strong kind of a melodic build debut single that really showcases just how good of a singer Bradley Walden is, but also the kind of nostalgic airiness that he brings to a track when he really gets on it instead of just making something that's catchy, which they've been lacking.
Yeah, I feel like if you go back to Sting now, I feel like there's a part that was in The Edge that's just missing out of that album. And if you go back and listen to Peach Club, that's just like Emarosa to a T, I feel like nowadays. Like I really feel like at any point anyone mentions Emarosa, I'm always thinking Peach Club and 131. That's at this point. And I think like The Edge really is just the natural evolution of those two albums.
If we just ignore the fact that Sting came out, I would be like, yeah, I expect the single to drop. This makes sense. So I'm glad that they're making a return to form, because, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious how, I think it's called Cherry Coke is the next one.
Oh no. There was a Addison Rae song that dropped earlier this year. Maybe it was Madison Beer. It's called Diet Pepsi. So maybe this is the new trend.
Didn't Silverstein releases Cherry Coke too?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Hey, what is going on? This newest Lorna Shore track, Mountain Dew.
Dr. Pepper.
Where's my Paloma track of Fanta? Come on.
They could just be Paloma self-titled, bro. Isn't a Paloma a drink?
That's right.
It sounds like it.
I mean, it is like, I think it's like a mixed drink.
Yeah, no, phenomenal track, great build, everything I would have wanted out of a new Emarosa single. So I'm glad that it's a lead single. That gives me hope. Hopefully, Cherry Coke will be just as good and attached to an album that keeps up the strength of this single.
Yeah,
I love Cherry Coke.
Hell yeah!
I have no comments on Cherry Coke.
Have you ever had Cherry Coke?
Dr. Pepper?
No.
You've never had Cherry Coke?
I've never had any soda, actually.
Damn.
That's
hey, you know what? I respect it. Soda fell off, low key. It used to be like, damn, hand me a root beer.
Carbonated water. Now.
Yup, Bubbly Gang. we are not sponsored yet.
Water Gang.
Bubbly.
Get that trash out of here.
I got that too.
What do you got, Justin? You a LaCroix believer? Like, what's going on?
No, I've got I tried
Kool-Aid.
the
Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid.
No, I tried the what was it? The trivia shit that's going around on TikTok.
I have no idea.
It's basically Liquid IV.
Oh, okay. I like it. You know what? I like Liquid IV, so I'll give it a. Yeah, he's capping it, inject it in. Give me that bubbly straight to the veins.
I feel like that would kill you.
Yeah, probably. Honestly, I forgot about that. You know what? Fuck it.
It would indeed be the end of you.
It would,
right, Jake?
Banger! Just like how much of a banger this song is. We have what might be the most notable feature collaboration in the genre of 2025, with Poppy, Amy Lee of Evanescence, and Courtney LaPlante of Spirit Box teaming up for End of You.
This is Jake's wet dream.
No,
for real.
We're not gonna call it a wet dream, but
all it needs is some chicken nuggets.
Yeah, Courtney comes out the music.
We're taking this down a dark. We're taking this down a dark place.
I have my friend. My friend is going to say,
he has a fucking prop.
My friend is going to. Okay, it's not gonna work. It's a silly idea. Whatever.
I was about to say, Jake, you're just gonna edit all this out and just randomly cut to the chicken nuggets and randomly in frame.
No. So this is awesome. I like. So. It's just after Negative Spaces came out, like Poppy has been such a roller coaster of an artist of like ups and downs of I'm really enjoying what you're doing and I could not give two shits about what you're doing. And then Negative Spaces last year was really good. Borderline top 10 album of the year. In hindsight, maybe deserved it. And for this to be the first new release since that album came out, there's definitely an air of confidence that I don't always have with Poppy, given Amy Lee and Courtney LaPlante were on this song. That's a fairly strong stamp of approval, but even with any sort of expectation coming in of like these three women collaborating on this song, I was still very impressed on my first listen, and this is something that has stuck with me throughout the entire month. Let alone just like the name recognition of like, holy shit, Amy Lee, Poppy, and Courtney LaPlante, like some of the biggest names in the genre collaborating, even just like on the song itself. Like you take away the names of it and this is still just a fantastic song, I think. Yeah, generic in some way. It's got the verse chorus bridge breakdown structure that you've kind of come to expect from anything that Jordan Fish produces these days. But Amy Lee's vocals in the chorus are majestic and steals the show in this song, in my opinion. I had to go back through some of Evanescence's older material that I'm not as familiar with, and Evanescence's more recent material that I haven't actively listened to be like, has Amy Lee always sounded this good? And,
yes, but...
and I was like, yeah, Amy Lee sounds good, but I don't know if her voice has ever sounded like, I think the instrumentation really elevates her vocals on this song for me, whereas like a lot of Evanescence's music sonically doesn't hit as hard for me, but with the more modern metalcore production, I know some people don't like it because Jordan Fish is everywhere these days, but it really worked for me. Poppy sounds great in her fairly limited parts of the song, and then Courtney coming in kills her breakdown and post-breakdown verse as well. I love the harmony that Amy Lee and Poppy do at the end of the second verse. That is beautiful. I love the dual screams that Poppy and Courtney do into the breakdown. And I think my last kind of comment here is that we do get a lullaby lyric drop in this song, and it has been an unintentional coincidence that every year we've been doing this podcast, other than last year, there's been a song with a lullaby lyric to make my top 10 songs of the year. All I'm saying.
So you're going to force it now.
I might be kind of forcing it. We will have to see how the rest of this year shakes out, but yeah, this song left a very strong impact on me from my first listen and has not faded away since then. It's one of the few songs that has come out this year where I listen to it, and for the next couple of days is like the handful of people are reacting to the song, I'm going out there like searching out these reactions because I just want to like relive that experience myself.
Yeah, I really, you touched on it, but I really want to highlight the transition of the screams into the breakdown. It was so well executed, and I love when any given collaboration or like feature really feels like it's integrating all three artists, and this does it to a T. I mean, it's phenomenal. I mean, I grew up on the Fallen, so I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down for this, especially somebody who didn't really like Evanescence's newest album. I think they low-key fell off from when they were really good in 2003. But Amy Lee's voice is iconic and eternal, and bringing in two kind of newer faces of metalcore with it, it works a little too well. Like, you tell me that this is going to work, I'm like, yeah, okay, but the way that they actually pulled it off is phenomenal. I really enjoyed it.
We have a lot of good features this month.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
A lot of good features this year, I feel like.
Yeah,
I feel like the Baby Metal album has, like, most of them.
Justin.
Visenya are back with their new single, Hype Dream.
aka Varsity 2.0.
Yeah, I was about to say these guys are filling in a void that Varsity is. Varsity's still working on their album right now, and these guys are just filling in that void, and it's so clean. I think this might be my favorite.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I do feel like this song, unfortunately, suffered from its release date for me. So it's probably the one that I've spent the least amount of time with, but by no means is that me saying that it is the weakest of the three singles. I don't know which of the singles would be the weakest, honestly. I just know that this is not my favorite of them.
I don't think there's a weakest. I think they're just
all really good. Yeah. It's like any given day I could really pick any of them.
I think why this one's my favorite is because when I first got introduced to music, it was like with pop, and like that ending verse with references to NSYNC and Backstreet just strikes a chord with me for some reason. I don't know why. And it also just flows super well. I think the vocalist's name is Mike, I believe. He's like, the vocalist is great, phenomenal. I'm really glad that they are doing this kind of sound and just doing it in a way that is fresh but not foreign. Because again, like Varsity, we've talked about that band a lot on the podcast, and I feel like this separates them in a way that just like feels fresh, in my opinion. Because Varsity, I think, like focuses a lot more on the lyrics and the vocal inflections, while this is more instrumental based, in my opinion.
With that being said, I really liked the part in the chorus where, like, it's not really a rhyme, but like I'll leave my lights up on the marquee, I'm gonna leave my mark. I really liked that kind of scheme that they did.
Yeah, that was also very good.
They're just so solid across the board. There's no chinks in their armor. Like, they are fantastic post-hardcore.
They're kind of following in the footsteps that the home team are pioneering, the sort of like heavy pop movement that I feel like is starting to take shape. And this is not the only band we're going to be talking about this month that's kind of following in that footstep. But it's a kind of sound that I'm glad to see more smaller bands taking swings at and executing on.
Yeah, I agree. There's no plan for an album at this moment, from my understanding. I believe that, because albums cost a lot, I don't think they have the resources for it yet, but I'm sure there would be one down the future. All right, my monthly new band for the podcast, we got Colony Collapse with their new single, Bloodstitch.
Yeah, this is really solid. Another solid find from you.
I have followed this band for quite a bit. I think I first listened to them when their deluxe album dropped in 2023. One of their songs popped up and I saved it, but it's a band that I really haven't gone back to too much, but they popped up in my release radar whenever this dropped. And this was very, very good. I really like this. I think the chorus sells this for me. Just the vocal inflection and how it flows. It works super well. I just kind of really enjoyed how just kind of quick the song felt. Even though it's a 3:30 runtime, it feels like 3 minutes. So it wasn't one of the songs I replayed the most this month, but definitely a band I highly recommend. I don't know if...
It's not a Hivemind monthly recap without a Justin new band find, so...
It's true.
Hey, I gotta shout out one of the newer bands or something or other.
I really think that the drums do a fantastic job of, to your point, Justin, the song definitely, we're at the point where it's like, 3 minutes and 30 seconds? That's not short enough. Make it shorter. But no, it really does make the song feel shorter than it is. And I think that it drives the tempo a lot and helps. It's not like they're isolated either. I really think this song does a great job of selling itself as, how do I put this? A solid listen. It makes you want to keep listening to it by virtue of the pacing of the song. And I also really enjoyed how there were moments where they would sing, the vocalist would sing in kind of like a lower tone and then follow it up with a falsetto in the background, or to cap off the end. It's an added vocal layer almost. It was really well done. I'm surprised. No, I shouldn't say surprised at the quality, but for a band that's this small, I think that it sounds like both instrumentally and vocally, they have a really good head on their shoulders. So I would be interested to see where they go in the future. So it really sounds like they're developing something great here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Not too much more I have to say on that one.
Derek, you're up next.
Awesome. Man, that was the last time I added this many songs to the playlist. Good Lord. And I forgot one, too. So shout out Jacob for adding the one after this. Rune have dropped either their or her newest single, Fast Asleep. And the reason being, I don't know if this is an individual artist versus a band or a group.
I don't know either, for what it's worth, yeah.
Okay. Which you would think that I would know that going into this. But I think I want to say it's just the vocalist. Could be wrong about that. But new signing to UNFD. And so assumedly, hopefully, this is attached to an album. In a year full of, the Cami Kehos and the Amira Elfikis, there's been almost, in mentioning Amy Lee too, there's been a very nice resurgence or emergence of these kind of airy vocals over heavier style, guitars and drums. And this is no exception. This is the best way that I could describe it would be like a musical daydream. In the way that her vocals float and soar over these instruments is incredible. This style of vocal delivery is something that we've been hearing for a decade and a half at this point in a lot of EDM tracks, like drum and bass. If we harken back to Faint and the cozy Zusseldorfs of the 2012s and 2013s and things like that, it's perfect. And the fact that it translates so well in 2025, I mean, this song doesn't feel old. It feels new. It feels of its time. And she's still a very small artist, all things considered. 27,000 monthly listeners. I mean, the talent. And
I also have to imagine most of that comes from one song that she featured on with 4 million streams.
Yeah.
So...
And I mean, this one by itself, with almost a month out, is at about 5,400 plays, which
very underrated.
Oh, absolutely. It feels criminal. I couldn't, this is, well, I shouldn't say that. It's not my single of the month, but it's my second favorite single of the month. And it is the one that by far I went back to the most. This was, I'm hopping in my car to drive somewhere. What song should I put on? I think I'm going to put on Fast Asleep by Rude. First song, every time. It's just, it made me want to keep coming back for more. And I loved it. So I'm hoping that by signing to UNFD, this is a lead single for something bigger. And by virtue of that, I hope Rune gets bigger because she's incredibly talented, and I can't wait for more.
I'm totally on board with you there. I feel like UNFD has been kind of quiet as a label for the past few years.
Yeah.
Like they used to be like one of the more premier labels in this like post-hardcore, especially like mostly with like Australian bands, I feel like. But yeah, I feel like UNFD has been a little quiet recently, so it's cool to see a new artist like Rune signed to UNFD and have this much promise. And I hope that UNFD isn't like a sinking ship and the signing isn't like gonna take her anywhere. Like, that'd be real unfortunate for how much talent that this song showcases.
Oh yeah.
Which brings us to the biggest band in our playlist today. We have another new single from Bad Omens, Impose. Following on the release of Spectre.
Done, right?
Yeah, apparently the album is not done. So
I don't know if I like that we're getting this so soon then.
Man, I don't care.
Yeah,
that's fair. It's very good.
Like we've had this argument a lot over like bands need to stop releasing so many singles, but sometimes when your favorite band drops a song, that just supersedes any frustrations of dropping everything as a single into an album. The Concrete Castles released the entire album as singles, and it was still a top 3 album of 2023 for me. There's a lot of people that rollout could have ruined the album for them. In fact, there have been other bands that have done that exact rollout, and it has kind of ruined it for me. So, like,
we're gonna talk about one in this playlist. Kinda.
Yeah, I was kind of hinting at that, but yeah, I feel like Bad Omens, at least for me, not for everyone, are one of those bands that they can really just do whatever they want, and I'm going to be invested in it. And I feel like it would take something absurd to happen for me to not be invested in a new Bad Omens drop at this point.
Especially when it's this caliber. I mean, look, man, if you said, hey, Bad Omens, they're going to drop a song that's going to be like half drum and bass, hell yeah. Like, what do you want me to say? No? Like, I don't. Yeah. And I think we're, 2 singles in now, and the closest that we've gotten to any uncleans is the Scream on the Way That It Hurts, Inspector, which is vaguely, I mean, if you even want to call it that. But like you said, they don't need them. These are 2 of the best Bad Omen songs, in my opinion. And I don't think it's, like, debatable. I don't mean to impose. But I also, sort of speaking of that, like, lyrically, I also appreciated, let me pull that up really quickly, how it feels much more personal to Noah, especially the second verse. I tried to settle in a life of relevance, but I long to be lost, and I tried to sever it, walk to the precipice to the sound of applause. That, like, they've got all this fame now, right? And that, I can't wait to get used to it. I can't wait to get to the point where I'm famous. But then it's got there and you realize, oh, wow, I liked it better when I wasn't in the limelight. And I know that Bad Omens fans that got on board in like 2022 are kind of, some of them are a little crazy and have made the band's lives very difficult with the parasocial relationships that come with being a band of attractive men that put out sexy songs. So like,
remember when he used to stream on Twitch?
Oh yeah. Can you imagine what that chat would be like nowadays? Every other message would probably be his home address. But yeah, it's just this song is so beautiful and so well done, and I don't even mind the like minute and a half of instrumentation or just instrumental bit at the end, because the song itself is so almost haunting that it feels like a natural, almost like minute to process the lyrics and emotions and feelings. And I loved Spectre. I played the shit out of Spectre. I like this even better. I think this is great. Some people saying it sounds like an interlude. No, that is an insult to this song. It's fantastic.
This is deservedly its own song. I don't think it's better than Spectre. I think Spectre is... I've had a lot more replayability with Spectre. Not to say that this song is bad. I just like Spectre on the whole more. But I do think... I do think that like Bad Omens have set themselves up as like a very genre diverse band. Like you have songs like What Do You Want From Me or Somebody Else from The Death of Peace of Mind. Like this shouldn't really come as a surprise.
No, but it feels like again, like we talk about natural evolutions for a band. This to me, especially based off of what we got on The Death of Peace of Mind Deluxe with new songs like Even. This really does feel like they're taking that next step into what their identity is as a band, and
it also feels like evolution from that album as well. Like you get elements of that, but then progressed as well.
Absolutely, especially like the industrial kind of riff at the end of Spectre. You know, going back to Van, like they're on track for Album of the Year 2026. If these songs are on it. And if they finish it. I am hoping that they are like, oh, I just need to finish the last 2 tracks type of deal. We wanted to release these as lead singles anyway. Here you go. I'm going to be sad if these 2 aren't attached to an album, because these 2 singles attached to an album means that album is immediately like off the rip a top 10 Album of the Year contender.
Would Sumerian let Bad Omens release standalone singles? I would be a little surprised.
I mean, honestly, I don't know. If you have Bad Omens on your roster, I think just having them drop a song every now and again to give you like $8 billion and you put it on a 7-inch disc and sell it for $40 and call it a day.
That's what they did with IC Stars. Remember when they released those 2 singles?
Oh, yeah. I remember.
I don't.
But
what are those? Anomaly and the other one? I don't know.
Are We Even? Was that the second one?
No.
Drift. That's it. It's Drift and Anomaly. Yep. God, even the lead single is forgettable.
Let's talk about something better than IC Stars in the year 2025.
Literally anything here.
Well, we did get a new Hands Like Houses album this year, but... All right, anyway, jabs aside at other bands, Future Palace have dropped brand new single Cyclone and have also signed with Century Media. So this is the first single since their album last year, Distortion. And I said I was going to talk about Future Palace again. I saw them live in Worcester. They played this song. This was the second to last song in their set, and it was awesome. I immediately want to jump to the breakdown in this song, because we need to start having a serious conversation of like, how do Future Palace consistently give some of the best breakdowns in metalcore? Like, it doesn't feel like it makes sense given the type of music that Future Palace usually makes. Like, they make metalcore, but I wouldn't particularly describe them as like a super heavy metalcore band that is like known for their breakdowns by any means. But then I look at songs like this, and I look at songs from last year like Dream State, and they take what they want. And going back even further with songs like Flames in Paradise. And it's like, Future Palace, like, no shade to them. I wouldn't have expected them to be this good at writing breakdowns.
No, not if you told it to us back in 2021, right? When they were first putting music, or I guess 2020, but like, I think this band's gonna have like a insane breakdown, maybe like top 10 breakdown of the year type of deal, just casually, like 4 or 5 years.
Also, this has to be like one of the longest breakdowns that I have heard all year. Like, this shit runs for like almost a full minute.
Oh yeah, as it should. Like, if you write a good breakdown, let it go. True, that is very true. But the fact that Future Palace, we're having a discussion about Future Palace in the same sentence as Loathe in terms of how long the breakdown is, like. Yeah, they are really just constantly improving. I feel like they're on such a constant upward trajectory, and if they ever like stall a little bit or go a little bit down, they immediately overcorrect with something that just makes them even better. Like it's actually insane how in tune they are with themselves.
Yeah, Maria sounds as good as ever. Both her singing vocals and the harsh vocals, for this admittedly being like mostly a song where she sings and then just unleashes in the breakdown. I've looked at the lyrics on the breakdown, and the lyrics go crazy, but I am going to criticize that I feel like this is one of the rare times where I feel like it's hard to clearly understand what Maria is screaming. Because I feel like that's been one of Maria's strong suits in the past with Future Palace, that her harsh vocal tone has usually been very easy to follow along with what she's still singing, even in that harsher tone. I've listened to this song a ton. Like, just because it's like one of my favorite songs of the month. I knew I was going to hear this song live. I wanted to be familiar with it, so I knew it live. I still struggle to follow along with what she is screaming in that breakdown. I've read the lyrics multiple times, and like I pick up on words here and there, but I feel like it's not as clear in her tone as it has been in the past. And that's really my only criticism here.
See, Jake, this is why you got to get on board with Gavin Dance, because then you understand that uncleans are just another instrument, and it's fine.
Now, I get that.
Everything is suddenly better. You don't need to know what's going on. You're just along. You
don't need to know what's going on, and I can just get along with the ride. Like the instrumentation in the breakdown is so sick that I am just along for the ride anyway. But then I read the lyrics and I'm like, these lyrics are raw. These lyrics go crazy, and I'm like, fuck, I want to be able to actually like lip sync along to this shit, and I can't.
Yeah, no, I got
just
you.
Do like make them suffer and do like Morse code screaming.
When you said the shit's raw, I immediately thought Gordon Ramsay and Jake being an idiot saying,
it's raw!
Chicken nugget is raw!
I feel like it's dangerous that I've shown you guys my chicken nugget plushie. Like, I've given you guys a lot of power to summon it.
I somehow knew that you had it.
Yeah, didn't you post that you got it?
I posted that I got it as a birthday gift like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Anyway. Yeah, I don't think I have too much more to say on the Future Palace song. It's an incredible song, and it was incredible live. Which takes us to our next song. We have the first single since her EP earlier this year. Amir Elfki has dropped a new single, Hold On To Me. Now, Derek, I know that both of us were very high on the Surrender EP. It's been 6-7 months since then.
Wow.
And yeah, that's crazy. This is the first single since then. I feel like it is very much following in the same footsteps that EP set up. While at the same time, this doesn't feel as memorable.
Agreed. And I think that if this was on the EP, it's a good song, but it would be the weakest on the EP.
I would agree, yeah.
I think that this is very much which I don't mean to devalue the song, but it feels a little bit like I'm dropping this before I go on tour with Bring Me the Horizon type of song, especially with the bits that feel a little bit more drum and bassy, especially given how much they put or that sort of sound on the latest Bring Me album. This is something that I feel like you could definitely kind of come into as a Bring Me listener and be like, okay, like I get it. Like there are aspects here that I would like, and then maybe that invites you to delve into the EP. It was heavier, like more prevalently, I feel like, than a lot of the songs.
I feel like this has like the smoothest integration of a breakdown that she's done. Because I feel like some of the breakdowns on the EP did feel a little jarring. Like obviously I still love them, but this feels like the most natural integration of like a heavier breakdown sort of section in any of her songs. And I think her screams sound great. Going off of what I was saying with Maria in Cyclone that we were just talking about, like being a little hard to follow. I think Amira's screams are very easy to follow. Now, that being said, the breakdown in Cyclone by Future Palace is very wordy. The screaming verse / breakdown in Hold On To Me is not nearly as wordy. So it is just by nature easier to follow in that sense. But yeah, I think this continues to show that Amir Elfki has a ton of potential for growth, and I assume that this is going to kick off into another EP or album. Like, obviously, you're supporting Bring Me the Horizon now. I think you've released 2 EPs at this point. There's got to be a debut album, at least a thought in the mind at this point.
I hope so. Because if this song and the EP are any indication of what she's capable of, combined with like general artist growth, it's gonna be a banger. I'm no doubt in my mind about her at this point. She's capable of putting out great stuff.
Yep. Justin, this is another band that I feel like it's been a minute since we talked about.
Yeah, Divide the Fall are back with their new single, Break Free. They did drop a single earlier this year called Beyond the Surface. I didn't really vibe with it all that much.
It was very okay.
It was very much okay. This is much better.
I would agree, yeah.
This is what I know Divide the Fall for. And they didn't play this one fairly recently, to my knowledge. It kind of just came out of nowhere, and I'm very glad for it. This is very much in line with Fake Love, in my opinion. With just the progression to it. The vocals are in line with what they normally do, just classic alt rock style. I really like the guitar on this. I think it kind of drives the song to me. Other than that, it's just fairly solid.
You know, I'm actually really impressed with them for this, because when I was listening to this song, I just had the playlist play in the background. I didn't see who was singing the song. I could tell it was Divide the Fall just by listening to it, which is, I think, something that's really good for them. Yeah, maybe it's just me who can recognize them.
No, when I hear a Divide the Fall song, like, his vocals are very recognizable, I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. Especially in a age where a lot of people are just trying to be bad omens for the sake of, internet. But I think this helps them stand out pretty well.
I will say, I think tangentially, it's really funny to me that we're now having the discussion of, people are just trying to sound like Bad Omens to get popular. When they dropped that debut album, everyone's like, they're just trying to sound like Bring Me. They're just trying to get popular. I mean, they were. Don't get me wrong.
They got popular, yeah. Whatever works.
The Gambit worked for Bad Omens. Surely it'll work for insert band name here.
I mean, then that was like, what, 100, 200 monthly listeners, maybe. So that's a little bit of a breakout, but then Death Mine comes out.
It's just insane. I can't believe how big that made them. And same with Sleep Token. Just these 1 in a million bands that are fucking cooking, man.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if Divide the Fall will have an album within the next year or so. They haven't really mentioned anything on it, but I kind of hope it's not another EP. I hope they do like a full debut album.
Yeah, I'd like to hear an album from these guys for sure, especially given how what's the word? There's so many EPs in 2025 that I'm definitely in the bridge of these smaller bands need to be making albums, not EPs. My albums list need more saving than my EPs list. So,
I mean, not even just this year, just like in general.
Mm-hmm. Divide the Fall have been around for quite a while, and we have not gotten any albums from them yet. So.
No, their last EP was in 2020.
Dang, I remember talking about that. I can't believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
Oh.
Up next, we have The Devil You Know, brand new song from Artio featuring Cody Frost off of an upcoming album called Soul Rot. This is the lead single for the album. Unfortunately, Split Soul is not on the album.
So why did they name the album Soul Rot and then not put the song Split Soul on it? Who knows?
Who knows?
Shame, it's a really good song.
Yeah,
this is also a really good song.
This is, yeah. I don't think it's as good as Witzel, which is unfortunate. But this is still a great song. Artio, again, continue to maintain a very unique sound in the genre that I don't really feel like anyone else is doing. We've talked about the drum and bass influence, and I feel like it doesn't run stronger on any other song in this playlist than it does here.
No, not at all.
Like that instrumental break, like halfway through the song, it's just, it feels like Artio's signature at this point, and it's just so cool.
Absolutely, but they pull it off so well. Like I was thoroughly impressed with the electronic elements on Babyface, and they just continue to be like, oh yeah, remember that thing that we did? Yeah, we're gonna do it better this time, actually, and we're just gonna keep refining that same sound. I'm so happy they're sticking with it, because the members of this band are so damn talented, and it feels like with every release, they're really leaning into each of their individual strengths more and more, and it works together. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's fantastic. Cody Frost is a fantastic feature. I believe Cody Frost also did the feature on the closer to the last Bury Tomorrow album, or God, they put one out since then. Good Lord. Okay, second most recent Bury Tomorrow album, and just a phenomenal vocalist, phenomenal feature. I'm very happy with this. I wish Split Soul was on the album, but this as a lead single still has me interested, excited, impressed. I really enjoyed this.
This is going to be a January album, so we aren't getting it until 2026. So it would have been nice to maybe have it for the 2025 lists, but it's going to be a strong start to 2026 with this album. So
absolutely,
I'm looking forward to it. Babyface was a great album last year. Artio deserve to blow up. We were having this conversation in our Discord a bit ago, like, what should be the next band, like underrated band that's gonna like blow up? It's not going to be Artio, but it should.
It's Nightlife.
Yeah,
the answer's Nightlife.
Yeah, it should be Nightlife if it's not Nightlife. Up next, we have Reliqa, who have dropped brand new single "Your Touch." This is the first single since debut album Secrets. I should know this. This was my fourth favorite album last year. Is it Secrets from the Future or Secrets of the Future?
I think it's Secrets of the Future.
It's Secrets of the Future. Debut album last year.
Get him out of here.
Whatever. One of my favorite albums of last year, and this song absolutely blew my mind. There's a non-zero chance that this is going to be my favorite song from September by the end of this year, when I thought that for sure one of a song that we will talk about in the albums, or the Poppy, Amy Lee, and Spirit Box collab had like Song of the Month on lock. And then Reliqa comes out and drops one of their best songs ever.
Absolutely. The way that they integrate the electronics into this, man.
Again, bands are finally learning how to integrate electronics into rock and metal songs, and it is so beautiful. Now, I wish that they leaned into it a little more, but I will take what I can get. It's like, Reliqa, I Don't Know What I Am from that 2022 EP. They had that full, like, weird electronic drop in that song, and I have been really hoping that they do something like it again. And I saw the electronics building when I was listening to the song for the first time, and I'm like, oh, please do the thing. It's just a normal like guitar and drum instrumental break, and it's really cool. And there's electronics there, and Monique sounds awesome, and it's some of the most impressive instrumentation that I've heard on any song all year. I want a proper like electronic bit again, please. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, like, Reliqa are one of the few bands that I trust to actually be able to deliver on that.
Absolutely. I really want to shout out the guitar work on this song. I think it's absolutely incredible, and the production is so crisp. It accentuates every aspect of this song so well.
I need to do some research. One moment, keep talking.
Research, Jake.
I might have something to say about that.
This would be, I don't know if it would fit on the last album, but in terms of overall song quality, easily one of the best. I mean, this this band is taking all the aspects of what makes the more like progressive side of metalcore so good, and it's pulling them off to a T. I mean, the instrumentation is fantastic, and it's technical, and it just, the fact that you can have instrumentation, especially guitar work, that technical, and have it accentuated by electronics, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. They can do no wrong right now, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, so what I was going to look up, this was produced by two people, but one of them was a previous member of Void of Vision.
Oh,
which might have something to do with it.
Okay, yeah. Especially with like what is that one song? I think it's Dominatrix that has that kind of electronic bit in the back. Yeah.
There's a few of them.
No, that tracks.
Those EPs are so good, man.
They really were. Makes me sad. But yeah, what a star-studded lineup they got on this song. I
want to go over some of the lyrics on this song because lyrically, I think Reliqa are one of those bands that they kind of speak in metaphors a lot of the time, and it's a little hard to exactly, like, they always say things in a way that's more complicated than it maybe can be. But often it's for the better because it doesn't dumb it down to like, oh shit, I'm caught in the undertow sort of shit. But I really like the first verse. Monique's delivery on that, I would have put it all on the line. That little just inflection before I would have put it all on the line is beautiful. But now I'm totally atmosphereless and mourning the world that was at my feet. I'm kind of spoiling an album discussion. STARSETs, take notes. Take notes, please. But then in the build up to the main breakdown of this song, the very like soft spoken word bit of I'm going up, but is it drive or am I being driven? Just pushed me once into an orbit and I'm never leaving before it just like pounds in the instrumentation. I love that part. And then the main like pre-chorus before the instrumental break, or I guess it's the chorus, but if there's a God above, he's getting off on keeping me lonely. I never asked for much, but with my last breath, I beg for your touch. It's just so good. How Reliqa are still so incredibly small is shocking to me.
They gotta blow up, man. Way too much talent here. I 67,000 monthly listeners? I thought it was even higher than that. Yeah, that's wow. We gotta run those numbers up. That's actually insane.
We're gonna keep this electronic metal train going here. We have Anchor with brand new single Madara, Endless Dream. And Anchor, another band that are not shy from incorporating electronics into their songs. I'm going to once again reiterate, I wish they leaned into it a little bit harder in this song, but I'm not going to complain. They really had me thinking they were going to do like a Dark Beat-esque sort of electronic instrumental break moment, and instead it's just this like big electronic break into something similar that they did in Prisoner with just like super fast blast beats and guitars. Into the final chorus. Vocals, fantastic as always. I really like the melody in the chorus. I don't think this is as strong as some of my favorite songs off of Shogunai, which was my EP of the year last year. But this is by no means, they have not skipped a beat, really. Like at worst, they have made a lateral move with this song.
I really did expect, based on especially off of how it sounded at the start, I was really expecting a lot more electronics here than we got. Like you said, it's still a good song. I agree it's the lateral move, which I'll take it, but I really, especially after Dark Beat, really lean into it. I will always, I've been saying it for years, I will continue to do so no matter how many bands now do it. Lean into electronics. It serves itself to this genre of music so well. And it's literally
you, I see stars.
Right? Literally. Infinite possibilities that you can do to make your music better with it. And yeah, Anchor have shown that they can do it. A little disappointing that it's not here, but again, still just such a solid band. Continue putting out great music. Can't really, like you said, can't complain too much. But
yeah. And that's going to do it for my stretch of singles. We are on to our last single of the month. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, we got Valiant Hearts with Trenton Woodley of Ladders on Tables, formerly of Hands Like Houses, with the second single, Thalassa, off of upcoming album from Valiant Hearts, Hidden Realms.
Okay, so if Poppy, Amy Lee, and Courtney is my wet dream, surely I can call this Justin's wet dream, right?
Yeah, I'd say
surely?
That's valid.
Am I? Okay,
yeah.
Thank you.
No, Dude, I'll give it to you.
This is the collab I've been wanting for years. And it's so cool. It's so good. Single of the month. Like, there's no doubt.
Yeah, Tom and Trenton both sound phenomenal here.
You about to say something, Derek?
I was just going to say, I think that the structure of this song is perfect for a Trenton Woodley feature. I think that especially on, like, you take a song like A Tale of Outer Suburbia, for instance, in the way that he's so good at building in a song and his range and the things that he's able to do with his voice. Because we've heard him, I feel like, a couple times on songs where he just kind of gets thrown in there for a standard, oh yeah, you're going to have a verse. And, like, I mean, it's Trenton Woodley, right? He's going to kill it, but it's not like he's not how he is on when it's like peak Hands Like Houses. And for me, I think he really hit that nail on the head here. It's incredible.
They worked together on this song. I think Tom just sent him the demo and they worked together on it. I think Trenton Woodley was also going to potentially feature on Venusian Fires, but chose this song instead. And it works phenomenal for him. I love the collaboration with their vocal ranges. I feel like if there was any artist either one of these bands can really collaborate with, it had to be with each other. And you could really hear it in like the last bridge to the last verse and then the last chorus, just where their vocal is just in line, matched so well together. It's great. The song referencing water and just the narrative to it all works super well. I think there's like a deeper meaning that Trent Woodley has mentioned previously, but I won't go into it. But suffice to say, this is like one of my favorite Valiant Hearts songs, and it's not even just because of Trent's feature. I think Igor did really well with the instrumentation on this one as well. I think discounting Yonder and Vertigo and kind of separating them as its own thing, I think this and like the Pantheon of like Valiant Hearts repertoire is phenomenal. There's live drums in it. It's not electronic drums, and you can just hear it.
Absolutely incredible track. Dream collab for anybody, for musicians, let alone for Justin.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it works so well. Phenomenal track.
I Can Die Happy Now. Not really. We have an album coming out in November for this, and I'm stoked.
Yep. All right, we got a couple of EPs to talk about now. Justin, these are two new bands we have yet to talk about on the podcast before dropping EPs this month, so take it away.
Yeah, this one I waited until the EP dropped, but Rain Division have dropped their EP Drive. They're making
I hinted at it earlier.
Our Drivecore playlist.
Yeah, Drivecore playlist. Yeah. I hinted at it earlier when we were talking about Visenia, but like this heavy pop movement that the home team are kind of at the forefront of, I feel like Rain Division are trying to carve a path in that direction. And I feel like for the most part, they succeeded with this EP. I didn't spend a ton of time with it because this happened to release on the most stacked release day of the entire year. But the time that I did get to spend with it, I really enjoyed. And the song that ended up getting stuck with me the most was track 4, Stuck in a Loop. Just has a really catchy melody to it. Not just like vocally and lyrically, but instrumentally as well. The instrumentation has a very catchy melody to it that I feel like a lot of the times choruses are carried by vocal melody, and it's rare to get a song like Stuck in a Loop that I feel like is almost carried by instrumental melody.
I do feel like, especially on that song in particular, for me, like, they do such a good job of accentuating the vocals with those catchy riffs and the bass that it's like the vocal melody becomes the instrumental melody and vice versa. It's fantastic. Again, I want to definitely something that the home team, I'd go as far back as Issues being kind of the pioneer for all this. But, you know, recently, like we were talking about earlier, Nightlife, the home team, they're in that same sort of vein. But I think what really sets them apart for me is the electronics. And they're almost like there's a almost hyper pop electronic influence to I Hope You Have a Good Life.
That's my favorite. Fantastic. It's the one that I listened to a lot. It was one of the singles leading up to VP, and it's the one that's probably stuck with me the most.
Understandably so. I mean, this we talk about drivecore, but really this is like late night. We're in the perfect time of year where it's like chilly but not too cold, and you can windows down still while you're driving. Well, actually, Jake, I don't know how it is up there. I know it's probably a little
it was like 80 fucking degrees the other day. So like,
all right, never mind. But no, it's like this is one of those releases where I feel like the album art, which for people who can't see it, it's just a kind of almost vaporwave color palette thrown over a car driving through the street at night with neon signs. That is exactly the vibe of this EP. It is a windows down. It's between 58 and 72 degrees, and you are cruising at night, just reflecting and listening. And I think that to me is also lyrically like one of the strengths of this album. Like you can tell it's nostalgic for a lost relationship and the good times and feeling like, you know, wishing the best to the other person, but then feeling like you're stuck in a loop with this person constantly in your head and like you don't know what to do. And it's a fantastic EP from a band that only has 5,000 monthly listeners. How one of these has to hit the Spotify algorithm, dude. I refuse to believe
it's so wild because
all the AI bands hit the Spotify algorithm,
right?
All that fucking so annoying
bullshit. Hey, what's the name of that one big band? They got like 1 million monthly listeners now.
The Holding Absence one.
Yeah.
I want to say it's like Bleeding Verse or something.
Yeah, Bleeding Verse. Yo, if anybody listening has bitch ass Bleeding Verse in their playlist, 900,000 monthly listeners, it's AI slop. Get it out of there.
Go listen
Garbo.
to Holding Absence.
Go listen to fucking Rain Division.
Exactly.
Like, get rid of this.
There are so many small talented bands out there that we try to highlight on this episode because there are real people that are making music that can have real impact on people. Not to say that AI music can't have real impact on people as well, but
it ain't real.
It ain't real.
There's no soul to it. You get something like this where like lyrically, like this is topical. I connect to this. I think that this is a fantastic EP. This makes me feel something, and it makes me feel something because the people who wrote it and took the time to record it and put instrumentation behind it did it with intent. They did it with purpose. It's fantastic. It's music. Music was meant to make you feel something. I can't say enough good things about this EP. I think it's phenomenal. It is another great EP in a year of great EPs. I feel like we can't every single month. We say that, and it just keeps on releasing more good EPs. We've got enough to last us the rest of the decade.
We have more to talk about next month, motherfuckers.
You're right.
We're not off the train yet.
Yeah, I said I said last month in our August recap that like every EP we talked about last month could end up in my top 10 EPs. I'm pretty sure like all but one of them have already been kicked out.
It's insane.
Wow.
It's absurd.
Wow.
It's absurd.
Yeah, I'll cap off the discussion with Rain Division. Just shout out the guys. They're great. They had a single with Matt McAndrew from Rain City Drive a couple of years back.
Really good.
That's
really good.
Really fucking good. Definitely recommend it, Derek. If you haven't listened to it already.
Yeah, I was about to say
anything with Rain usually is good.
Exactly.
100%.
A song named Rain?
Noia,
I can't think of a song named Rain. It's not
Token.
good. Issues.
Unprocessed.
Ah.
Give
I'm
up
gonna
for
go to
Rain.
my like songs and look up Rain. And then it's just all Rain City Drive, I think. Yeah.
Let me
Well,
control F in the good shit my dude playlist with around 8,200 songs in it.
Torrential Rain.
Yeah.
Yup.
Pray for Rain by Polaris. Shoutouts.
Unsleep.
Rain
yeah,
by
this is
Grandson for the Suicide Squad movie.
Senna had a good one.
Lest We Forget A Year Without Rain by Selena Gomez.
Okay, I found a bad one.
What's the bad one?
Rainfall by Landmarks.
I mean, is that the one where they hit the fucking
the garbage
cowbell
can
or whatever? Yeah, the garbage can. Yeah, okay. That one. Yeah, I don't know
guys. Rain by I Prevail off of brand new album Violent Nature.
Oh, never mind. We got another one.
I haven't heard it doesn't count.
It's okay. We'll bring it back. Heavy Rain by Solence.
Solence also has a song called Rain Down.
Alone. Rain, the word alone, okay? No other extra add-ons or...
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get a move on.
Justin, you got another EP here.
I do. Lost Trees, another new band for the podcast, dropped their EP Hallucinate 2.
You were the crimson in my blood. You were my everything, but it was all fool's gold.
This is kind of a continuation of their previous EP called Hallucinate. The album art was of like a log cabin. This album art is of the log cabin on fire.
It reminds me of the Treehouse EP by Garden. The cover art.
Yeah. Yeah, now that
What's
you
it
mention
called?
that, it really does.
Things Could Be Worse or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Hold on.
We haven't talked about Garden in a while.
Right? It is things could be worse. You know, this also reminds me a bit of Justin, that Galleon's album from 2022 or 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe 2021. Yeah. I'll have to say that there's a very good track record for bands that put some sort of wooden house.
This shit kind of fucks.
Yeah, this is a banger.
This one kind of came out of nowhere. It was like the last week or so that I really found this and kind of got hooked into it. I think I've saved one of their songs previously before the EP. I can't tell you which one, but this somewhere had popped up in like my release radar, and I think it was Fool's Gold that stuck with me the most. When I listened to it, I was like, oh, this shit kind of rocks, and I listened to it in full quite a few times, and there's a good variety in this. There's the alt rock, there's electronics, there's almost like kind of a I wouldn't say swancore-ish style to it. Like there's something for everyone in this here, and I think it really works as like a full package where like you can just pick and choose your favorite from this.
I don't have too much to say on this. I only listened to Fool's Gold and Slow Divide, which were Fool's Gold was like the music video single for the EP drop, and Slow Divide was the single that came before. With how many albums I listened to this month, like half of them that I listened to, we aren't even discussing in this way. I am fairly exhausted on listening to new music at the moment. So by the time I got to this Lost Trees EP, I was like, I really am not in the right headspace to give this the attention it deserves. But I gave a couple of songs a listen, and I did enjoy both of them for what it's worth. But I need a little bit of a detox. I was very thankful this past Friday that there was not a single album to come out. I was like, thank God I can like take a moment to breathe after listening to like 14 fucking albums last month.
Yeah. Some of my recommendations, of course, Fool's Gold. It leads off the EP fairly well. Overdose, 902A Overdose is very good. It has a very upbeat, kind of catchy chorus that I don't think is emulated in any of the other songs, and I think it works really well to set itself apart. I Don't Love You Like I Wish I Could is very electronic and also probably the heaviest between that and Vanish. But the chorus in this matches well with the energy. Even if like the heavier vocals don't really sit well, I think you could probably find something in this. And then Vanish caps off the EP fairly well. I think it helps to loop back into Fool's Gold and kind of makes it a very repeatable listen.
This is one that I could definitely see any of us really talking about again at the end of the year, but similar to Jake, I wanted to give it some more time before I agree with everything you've said, but I've not had the chance to let this one soak in, and I would like to. I have a feeling that this one and Rain Division are going to be on repeat for a good while.
Hell yeah.
With Rain Division, I made sure to listen to that the day it came out because you had been hyping up Rain Division for a bit, Justin. So I know myself, if I don't get to something the day it releases, I'm not listening to it for months. So, but yeah, with Lost Trees, this was a bit of a later ad for this month's playlist, and yeah, I've given my explanation for it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick the two, I think Rain Division for me kind of has a bit more longevity to it, but that's not against Lost Trees. I think it's just Lost Trees just has so much variety to it that Rain Division's sound kind of all sticking to like one flow for me personally kind of helps a lot more. But Lost Trees also has just some really good songs, and I think they're just fairly consistent. I meant to go back and listen to Hallucinate 1 before, and I didn't, so that's going to be on my playlist. It's probably going to be something I listen to on my flight, so we'll see.
For what it's worth, you did not have a single miss this month, Justin.
That's rare.
That is rare. Now, admittedly, I haven't listened to the whole EP, but from what I did hear of this EP, I don't think you have a single miss here. So,
hell yeah.
Great work on being better than the Spotify algorithm only pulling AA bands.
We have Spotify.
One more EP to talk about, a band that we have not yet talked about on the podcast, but one that has been making waves in the alternative scene for the past few months. Jacob, get us started on this one.
We have President with their new EP, King of Terrors.
In a place that I can't escape.
And without a doubt, this band is an industry plan.
Yeah.
I just want to start that off with that.
Yeah, I gotta say, this has to be one of the greatest marketing campaigns for a new band that I have maybe ever seen.
Well, it's obviously somebody with like
connections and stuff.
Like a artist who previously had a project and somebody established. But
with that being said, to make the obvious, this is an anonymous band, or supposed to be anyway.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I haven't paid much attention. I feel like there was like one music video where they showed his face or something, so I don't know. But yeah, I listened to the first single when it came out. Wasn't too interested on it, so I kind of left. We didn't talk about it in any of the other episodes, but I gave the EP a listen, and I found the songs Rage and Conclave especially interesting, and Fearless to an extent. I really like the chorus in that one, but it's very diverse is in its sound, which is what I like about it. And I think the message of the EP, or is what I'm getting from it, is intriguing me. To me, it's kind of like somebody who is searching for like God and can't really connect or feel him. So like I think it's very interesting because I don't think I've seen an EP about this where or any project in music where it's not somebody like, usually it's either hatred or, but it's almost like it feels like searching in this case. And I don't know, it really intrigued me because it never seen anything like that. So I have some lyrics, and you can probably get that from the lead single, but yeah, like the chorus of Rage, and I think Rage is my favorite song, is and I'll keep calling your name out, but I don't hear. If you make a sound, will you hold me when I'm in the ground? I'll keep drinking my way out. Could you love me then? Would you love me then? And then Conclave, which is my second favorite song and the closer on this EP, is very similar idea in terms of lyrics, but like, tell me, will I see you in the afterlife, shooting my guns at everyone, telling myself it's hardly worthy, drinking here alone, because you never hold me through my darkest nights, but I would love you anyway, even in the afterlife. And all this and the different vocal techniques and the diversity of sound, and but still remaining true to this lyrical theming, was very intriguing to me. So that's why I have it here. And that's to say, I don't really like in the Name of the Father as like sonically, but especially, like I said, Rage and Conclave, definitely my two favorite songs on here, and definitely songs I'll be will continue to listen to.
The only thing I've really ever heard about President is that they're an anonymous Sleep Token ripoff, and they're an industry plant. So I have yet to listen to a President song, and that has not changed. But with what you're describing, I'm intrigued enough that I will give this a listen.
It's I don't think it's like EP of the year or anything, but it's definitely like,
it's worth a listen.
Yeah, it's worth a listen.
It's just the whole.
You might get a few songs from it. I think you'll either love it or hate it. There's no in between.
Okay, heard. I don't know, the whole anonymous shtick is really like, in this day and age, it really just feels like you're ripping off Sleep Token. And like, I mean, I know Sleep Token are like not the first person to do it, but
this came out around the same time that Avenue and Arcadia was being marketed.
Like the first single, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm always wary of industry plants because I'm like, well, you're just gonna sound like how the industry wants you to sound. No. Why would I bother listening? But if it's actually that diverse sonically,
it sounds like a different guy on like almost every song. So
okay,
it's very, there's like pop elements. It's not like I wouldn't call it a metal album. I'd almost like rock with, it's like pop rock, not pop rock, but rock with pop elements.
Heavy pop.
I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, I was also very whelmed by In the Name of the Father when I first heard it as a single, and I had kind of dismissed them as just another new band that's getting a lot of attention that I'm not super interested in. There's been a bunch of bands like that over the years of us doing this podcast, but then with Fearless and Rage as singles, I decided to give them another chance. And when they first dropped, I wasn't huge on either of them, but revisiting it earlier today, they were better than I remembered. Fearless, as you mentioned, Jacob, has a great chorus, and Rage as well. I really like the slow build of that song. Definitely a more poppy song. I would not be surprised, Derek, if you end up really liking Rage in particular.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'll take it.
It's very. He has a weird effect on the voice. Like, it's either. I know it'll be hit or miss for people. Like, you'll either love it or hate it, and I like it so.
And even in the Name of the Father, like, it kind of grew on me listening to it again today. It's still like not my favorite.
I think lyrically it fits with the EP, and that's why I accept it. But yeah, I don't. It's okay.
Yeah, Jacob had already mentioned everything I was gonna say. Like, my favorites are the same, Rage and Conclave.
Is that it?
I think that brings us to albums.
All right, we got 6 albums to talk about, and we got quite a few big names to cross off here. So let's get started. Our first album for the month of September, we have Grandson with his 3rd album, Inertia.
I'm off that self-checkout, I get mad whenever I see the face on the side of the Las Vegas sphere. I'm always smiling because he knows that the end is near.
10 tracks. This is the first album of his produced with entirely live recorded music. Nothing, no electronic drums from whatever sample packer computer. Everything was recorded live on this for the first time ever. And I think you can hear it in most of the songs on here, that it sounds built for the live environment. It feels raw, it feels energetic, it feels chaotic in a sense. I think this is a return to a very politically charged message that he kind of grew his brand on back in like 2018, 2019. But with that being said, comes kind of my biggest gripe with this album, in that it's just not fun to listen to all the time with how like real some of the lyrics are. I enjoy this album a lot, but it's not as replayable across the board as I Love You, I'm Trying was. And to be fair, like, this is a very different album than that last album. They're both trying to do very different things. But there's a couple songs on here that I have not really been able to resonate with a ton. I think kind of the funniest way I can put it is, I don't know if there has ever been a track list that has been ordered 1 to 10 so closely to how I would rank my favorite to least favorite songs on an album.
That's crazy.
Because my top 4 songs are Bury You, Autonomous Delivery Robot, Brain Rot, and Self-Immolation, which are the first 4 songs on this album. And then really the only change that happens is that Who's the Enemy featuring Bob Villain is probably my 5th favorite song on here. And then from there, like, the order is a little bit interchangeable between like You Made Me This Way and Little White Lies. And then Pull the Trigger, I think, is okay as a closer. Bells of War is also kind of just okay. I was really hoping Bells of War would be like a proper metalcore Grandson song. I saw that 2-minute runtime and I'm like, I know you have some harsher vocals in you. I want you to lay it out. And it's an angry song, but it's not what I wanted it to be. And I don't feel like what I got is something that I really resonate with. I don't know.
On the other hand, I feel like Autonomous Delivery Robot, Brain Rot, and You Made Me This Way largely envelop my feelings about the world as a whole right now, and I found this album really relatable. This is my favorite Grandson album, which I had no expectations.
So my prediction on you might like some of this album turned out to be pretty true.
Yeah, I would say so. I will say I agree with your comment about it being front half heavy. I think that when you get to particularly God is an Animal and Bells of War is where the album loses me a little bit.
So God is an Animal, not to distract you,
go.
God is an Animal, Grandson said that song was written in 2019 and it shows.
Yeah.
You can tell it is the first Grandson song in years that sounds like his Modern Tragedy EP era songs. Like, it really sounds like a song from that era, and it does, to an extent, feel out of place on this album.
Yeah, I think it's
lyrically the message makes sense, but sonically it feels out of place.
Yeah. It's very like, how do I put this? What I heard, and especially on Bury You, is that I can tell the Grandson likes Tyler the Creator. And there are so many, like the delivery on certain lines on this album, particularly in Bury You, where he said, power didn't change you, it made you more of what you are. Power reveals you, yeah, the real you, when you take it too far. Like, that's so, not lyrically, but the delivery is so Tyler the Creator, it's insane. And it's this like half sarcastic delivery where you can tell that he both cares a lot and is jaded and fed up, which feels like a very common theme throughout the album. But I feel like Bells of War in particular is the one song where, even if it fits thematically, the delivery and songwriting is like way different. Like, it lacks that sarcasm almost that is so prevalent throughout most of the rest of the album. Like you were talking about, it picks back up with Who's the Enemy, and I thought Pull the Trigger was a great closer in terms of a double meaning with, hey, we're going to wrap this up with a classic Grandson commentary on gun violence, but also on like kind of feeling suicidal because the world is shit right now. And it's a lot to put up with. I mean, you can tell it was written recently. You got Self-Immolation with relation to, I believe it's a reference to Aaron Bushnell, who self-immolated on the embassy, the U.S. embassy to Israel in mid 2024, I want to say. But there's commentary on just the technological advancements in society and their prevalence and AI and the autonomous delivery robots and the airport retinal scans and all this consumerism bullshit that we're subjected to on a daily basis, and same sort of thing in Brain Rot. And I really enjoyed Who's the Enemy as like a social commentary on systemic issues, particularly in the US, like blaming criminals without tackling the root issues that drive people to criminal behavior. I mean, Grandson's never been a stranger to political statements or anything like that. In fact, he's probably in this aspect of the scene been doing it for the longest, or one of the longest. But
it's not like a new thing that he's doing just because it's trendy.
Right.
This is like stuff that he genuinely believes in.
Absolutely. And I feel like this album in particular, and maybe it's just because the things that he's talking about aren't just like, again, with Self-Immolation, it's a recent event. You know, that it's not like we're not talking at large about, it's not all about, we've got gun violence and racism and things like that. It's, like these are real things. And here's an example of like 5 things that happened yesterday that are problematic and will be continuing to happen tomorrow. And I think that that's also why God is an Animal really kind of, I don't want to say ruins, but really impacts the album listening experience because it feels so jarring compared to the rest of the album. I think if you take that out and make it a 9-track album a la Bill Murray type of deal, this is like, I'd throw this in my top 10 easily. Because I think that the way that Grandson writes about current events and systemic issues and things like that, it's very clever. It's on the nose, but in a way that makes it enjoyable to listen to. Like, you can hear that kind of, I don't want to say like Joker-esque delivery, but he's like, it's very like a society type of deal. Like, but like he does such a great job of delivering it on the hip hop aspects. I think he really leaned into it in this in a way that I feel like more so than I remember on his previous album.
I Love You, I'm Trying had a lot of influence from that.
I don't think
especially on a song like Eulogy.
Yes, that one I do remember. But yeah, I don't know. This album, it speaks to me because of the way that he writes about current events. I think it is just that one track in God is an Animal that really throws me off. I didn't realize it was written in 2019, but now that you've said that, it makes perfect sense. I mean, it is very much like I would expect this to become before or after a what is that song? Identity. Like that kind of pacing and songwriting, I would expect it to be around there. So it's unfortunate, honestly. I mean, I don't mean to say that it's necessarily a bad song, but in the context of the album, I think it kills a lot of the flow and momentum that the album did a really good job of establishing up to that point. But ultimately, it was still a really good album. Really fun listen. Reminded me a little bit of the Bad Flower album.
This is ultimately Bad Flower.
Okay,
that was only a few months ago.
Oh, jeez, dude.
That was June, I think.
June? Oh, hell no, bro.
Because I was listening to that in Cape Cod. So yeah, that was definitely June.
Okay, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo what you said. Like, God is an Animal is like, I don't know if it's definitively my least favorite, but it's down there. I'd also group in the trio of Little White Lies and Bells of War. Just that entire stretch of 3 songs doesn't really do much for me, and then it picks up with Who's the Enemy. And I think Pull the Trigger's a fine closer. It's not like I said that there's like parts of this album that are like kind of uncomfortable to listen to, and like I struggle to enjoy it in a sense, and I'd say a lot of that comes from that stretch of Little White Lies, God is an Animal, Bells of War. Pull the Trigger, he has very direct social commentary on like gun violence in America right now, and it's not something that Granson's been afraid to talk about before. Like how Dark Side, in a very similar way from his 2019 EP, talks about gun violence and school shootings, and that's one of my favorite Grandson songs, and I think that song is amazing. But Pull the Trigger just does not have, it's lacking something for me, which really sucks in an album closer, because I really want it to leave like a poignant mark on one of my favorite musicians of all time, and it just kind of missed the mark. For the most part, like this album to me, when I added all the songs into my playlist, it was basically the I'm Leaving, Bury You, and Autonomous Delivery Robot on repeat. And I think I've like eclipsed like 30-40 listens on both of those, and the other songs I'm at like maybe 10 listens on any of them at this point over the course of the month. Like, it's a significant gap between how front heavy this album is and how not necessarily apathetic I am towards the back half, but it doesn't leave nearly as much of a mark. It's a very inconsistent album, in my opinion, and I think that hurts its overall chances in my top 10 albums of the year. But with that being said, Grandson is still one of my favorite artists of all time, and Bury You is my most played song of the month, one of my favorite songs of the month. I fucking love Autonomous Delivery Robot. Brain Rot and Self-Immolation were some of my most played songs of the month when both of those came out a few months ago. So like, I still have a lot that I really enjoy about this album. It is not the definitive album of the year that I was hoping Grandson would release in 2025. For being one of my favorite artists ever, it's not going to be album number 3 that gives Grandson an album of the year, unfortunately.
I do want to cap it off with some lyrics from Autonomous Delivery Robot. That is just, it's so good. I get fucking mad whenever I see the face on the side of the Las Vegas Sphere, always smiling because he knows the end is near. Tell Boston Dynamics that I can't stand it. The delivery on Tell Boston Dynamics that I can't stand it is so good. And then just the algorithm, the militarized technology, the inescapable assaulting of my privacy, the algorithm always showing what I want to see, so I can never outrun. All new, solar-powered, lightweight, customized, pink-washed, green-washed, screen-washed, digitized, AI-powered, GPT sport mode, night vision, upgraded, downsized, mega Mother's Day edition, premium and optimized, equipped with facial recognition. Right? It's just
Autonomous Delivery Robot!
Yup. It's like, you know what? Me too, grandson. I got some fucking robot bringing me my food at a restaurant. Hell no. Get this shit out of here. I'm gonna kick that damn plank.
So freaky.
Right? Like, get me personal interaction. I don't want to see some robot bring my shit to the table. Like, I don't care. Like,
I actually had it. I had that part written down. The fully loaded automatic authorized. What that verse before the final Autonomous Delivery Robot, it reminded me of crazy callback here. 5 Finger Death Punch, The Pride, which back when I was in my 5 Finger Death Punch era, that was like one of my favorite 5 Finger Death Punch songs. And like that verse where it's like Facebook, MySpace, iPod, Bill Gates, and it just keeps listing off random things. And that's how I felt listening to Autonomous Delivery Robot.
You know, I think this is a good transition to our next album.
Go for it.
Because I feel like this band has been warning about the dangers of technology. Actually, I know they have been warning about the dangers of technology advancement for their whole career. and with this album they got a little bit more blunt. So STARSET so STARSET have released their 5th album, Silos. And I think it has to be one of my least favorite album releases of all time.
That's valid.
Like
you mean release schedule?
The cycle,
right?
the release cycle. Yeah.
When I was hinting earlier, saying like Concrete Castles can release the entire album as singles, and my enjoyment is not affected. STARSET tried that, and
when did Brave New World come out? May last year, maybe.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah,
crazy.
Well, it's because this was originally going to be an EP, and then when they said it was going to be an EP, people got upset, and they thought the way to course correct was, okay, we'll do 2 covers and a bunch of interludes and call it an album.
Is that what happened? Did they complain about it being an EP? I thought that people just complained about it not being released.
No, they complained about wanting an album, so they made an album. Yeah.
See,
you know what though? I criticize this album for having covers. 2 covers. I criticize the release schedule / cycle. But after hearing it, I think it's fine. I didn't absolutely hate it like I expected it. Like I thought I was going to. I actually liked it. I don't like the fact that there are 2 covers. That is probably the biggest drawback for me. And I think, especially with a band who's trying to convey their message about the dangers of technological advancement, putting 2 random covers doesn't support that. And
yeah, STARSET are very much a band that like they lean into like their identity so much, and I really like, if you're gonna like, I think it's fine for STARSET to release covers of songs that they think mean something to them. I just feel like it takes away from the cohesiveness of their identity in context of a conceptual album.
Well, I almost disagree, and the reason I agree in principle, but I think for what I got out of this album, I think that what's the word I'm looking for? Modernizing covers to show just how much like things have progressed almost from when the song was released till now fits with that theme, to show people how different things can be in such a short amount of time, relatively speaking.
I can get that.
Now, all that to say, I'd prefer original songs that fit the message, right? I don't see the reason why you would just throw 2 covers in, even if it does make sense. Like, surely we've got 2 songs in the vault, or we could write 2 more songs about something we're passionate about, right? Like, we don't need to do a cover. But I don't hate it as much as I thought I would when I heard that there were going to be 2 covers on the album. And I also think that in the context of it, it does make sense, even if it's not by any means the best choice to do so.
Yeah, supposedly this caps off whatever novel they're working on, and according to Dustin, they're already working on the new album after this. So they'll probably end up taking the feedback from this one and hopefully adjusting.
Hopefully.
I didn't know what to make of the interludes when we initially heard that they were just going to put a bunch of them on there, and my understanding too is that people complained. I don't know how much of that it influenced their decision.
I think they're fine because STARSET already did that. They put it in, and they usually put it at the end of their songs, right?
Yes, and it's way better this way.
Exactly.
I don't have to skip the last minute of the song anymore.
To me, it feels like a live show. It's a live show. You have a lot of those downtime kind of interludes type deals. almost with whatever, the video they're playing. But you can almost take those videos or those cutscenes that they're doing and insert one of the interludes that's in this album, and it almost feels like you're listening to a live show nearly.
One of my favorite albums of the year so far has been the Skrillex album that released back in March, I think it was. It was April 1st. And what I enjoyed so much about it is that the album effectively was like one kind of long DJ set of like 1.5 to 2.5 minute tracks. And I got that same sort of vibe from this, just like you're saying, Justin. I feel like the interludes and the way they were integrated really helped drive it along. I felt like I had sort of concert experience or concept album in my pocket in a way that felt a little different to me than their previous songs, or previous albums, but because they so frequently included them as 30-second to 1 minute clips at the end of songs, as opposed to giving them a dedicated 3-minute runtime. I feel like it really helped, and the longer interludes didn't feel their length when I was listening to the album as a whole. I think I prefer it this way, to having it at the end, and I think the only one to me that doesn't make any sense is the closer.
Yes.
I don't know. Ad Astra finished, or Ad Astra, I don't know how to pronounce it. And I'm like, oh, banger. And then the interlude kicked in, or the closer, whatever you want to call it. I'm like, oh, well, I mean, it's fine, I guess. I tried to see if it loops back into Presence, and it doesn't. And I'm like, well, then what? Why? What's the point? You have a great closer here. Why not make it do something with it? Make it 50 seconds. What am I missing something here? What do you?
I think it's lore.
Okay.
I think it's lore. Because I think the first song on Vessels is called The Order.
Oh, we're getting deep into STARSET territory.
Yeah,
this is unexplored territory.
Well, Vessel started the whole novel series that they're doing, right? Or was that Divisions?
Transmissions, no?
Was it?
I can't remember. I don't know STARSET lore that well. Honestly, I know there's it takes place on future Earth, and actually it might not even be Earth. I know there's 2 countries, and it's West and East, New East and New West, or something like that, right. And they're war with each other. I don't remember. And the Order is an organization, I guess, rebels trying to take down one of these countries' technological advancements, something like that. And I'm guessing they've died. They failed, just by the name of that track. Yeah, I again, I don't know STARSET lore that well, but that's kind of what I got from it.
I skipped a lot of the singles coming into this album because I'm just you know what, whatever, I'll take the experience that I get, and I was pleasantly surprised. Honestly,
this album has one miss.
What's the one miss?
Sway. And it's not even that bad of a miss either.
Yeah, I found Sway to be very whelming.
It's okay. It's not bad.
That's no, you're good, bro. I know this is gonna be a take that you don't agree with, but I think that the miss on here is Toxic.
I agree.
I think it's a little too on the nose.
Yeah,
that's my only.
I
gripe.
can see it doesn't. I can see it doesn't fit with the album. That's kind of why it's surrounded by interludes.
That is true. It's isolated. It's on its own little planet. It's not necessarily that it's a bad song. It's just they have a rest of the album that's conveying this message, right? And they're doing a really great job of, it's clear, but they're still skirting around it in ways that kind of weave a narrative, and then we get to track 13 and it's just, oh yeah, here's this thing like really blatantly that we've been trying to say for the past like 12 tracks. And I'm like, well, you know, fair enough, but
I could
you could have just
put
this one and been done with it.
I like the song, but I agree. It doesn't necessarily fit with the album. And of course the covers.
Yeah.
Now sonically, I think they do. I think they're fine. And they sound like STARSET, both covers.
Mm-hmm.
But I really want to talk about Ad Astra because that's like the new song and probably I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's really good. It's one of their best closers. Actually, STARSET has really good closers, so I don't. But I think it almost feels like a bow tie, like almost like the end of an era, like you said, Justin, the end of an era. Because Ad Astra translates in Latin, it translates to the stars. So maybe I might have just figured out the lore. Maybe they've left Earth.
Well, yeah, and then maybe the Requiem is because they don't need to resist anymore. They're out of the situation they were in. They can be new people now. I don't know.
But yeah, it's such a good song. It's perfect closer energy. And it's classic STARSET. It's a complicated album for me to
yeah. Well, I mean, they're very good at songwriting and crafting thematic themes and atmospheres, so it's natural. But I do want to shout out Dark Things, a single apparently. I hadn't heard it. I didn't listen to anything after Dystopia, single-wise.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite song on the album and one of my favorite songs I've heard all year. I really enjoyed it.
You know what's funny, actually?
What?
That song, I feel like, for me, is it fell off when I heard it in the album. Yeah. It's still good, but it's not as good as it was when it was a single. And I'd say it was the weakest single now in context of the album. And I'm not counting the covers as singles because I didn't listen to them.
I also dodged the covers for the album.
I am interested to see where I sit with this album like a month from now.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to go back to it and I want to understand more of like, especially because like I can only assume that most of these interludes were not originally meant to be there.
No, they weren't. They weren't.
Yeah, so they did a great job then of making it feel like it fit in, barring for me the closer. And again, maybe it's just because I don't know the lore. But I'm interested to see how that develops my opinion of the album over, well, I guess until the end of the year. Maybe future, who knows? But I am more interested in this album as a release than I have been about any other STARSET album. So, and it's coming from somebody who doesn't really listen to STARSET all that much, but yeah, I'm intrigued.
I feel like you've been saying that a lot this year of like bands that you haven't historically liked that you're liking their newer releases for 2025.
Oh yeah, and I don't know if it's just because my musical horizons have expanded since the last time I heard a full release from these bands, but I do. I'm enjoying what STARSET are doing more now than I have previously. At least more consistently now. So we'll see.
Up next, we have the first proper band that we ever interviewed for our Hivemind After Hours series 4.5 years ago at this point. Yeah, that's
crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, Nevertel have dropped their brand new album, Start Again.
Making me sicker. Instead of fixing powers, only making them bigger. It's gonna take damn breaks. We can't keep it in place with the floodgates. Try to keep it inside just to save face, but it's a big.
I am so excited to hear some of these songs live next month.
I am jealous that you get to hear some of these songs live next month.
Yeah, I think they're coming to Virginia.
Oh, where?
National, I believe.
What?
Let me double check.
Hold on.
It's November.
Yeah, it's Thanksgiving week for me that they're playing.
Oh, what the fuck they are? Whoa, what a tour! Why did I not know about this?
It's the shit.
It's
Dude,
Memphis Mayfire, Rain City Drive, and Nevertel. If not for me,
yeah,
it's not coming to Canada.
It's fire.
It looks like, where is it? The closest is maybe what, Buffalo? No, it's the 22nd.
22nd.
It's coming to Greensboro on the 20th. I imagine that'll be at Cat's Cradle. I'm not driving back down there again. I can't do it.
22nd is a Saturday.
Yeah, right. I'm in there. Oh, give me something.
Alternatively, you're more than welcome to join me at the Connecticut show.
Yeah, it's just a simple walk over.
I'll go to Buffalo.
Yeah. Anyway, tour shenanigans aside, this album really surprised me. Not in that I doubted it would be good, but in the way that it didn't hit me on first listen how good this album actually is. And then, now that I've had a few weeks with it, I look at this track list and I'm like, holy shit, this is one of the best albums I've heard all year. There's some downsides to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love everything here, but I look at this track list, especially the middle of the album, the stretch from Break the Silence to Some Things is insane.
It really is.
I think this is Nevertel's most consistent project that they've put out.
Yes, I agree.
It doesn't fully commit to their identity, I believe.
Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I'm glad you said that, because
that's how I felt on first listen, but that feeling has kind of tapered away with time. I think on a song like Break the Silence, I think Raul's rapping gets, in the first verse, he gets some time to shine. In Miles Apart, I love Raul's verses there, which leans into those more traditional hip-hop elements that he's been able to excel at in past Nevertel releases.
Yeah, I'll say
I think
this album,
Criminal, you also get it a little bit.
This album let Raul shine. He is almost on par with Jeremy in just vocals, and it's wild that he can just rap and sing at the same time.
I also, for me, I think the identity thing, and I don't want to drift too much in the negative before we talk about the positives, but the identity thing, I will say, isn't about their identity as being kind of a rap rock duo dynamic. It's more so in some of the, what I would consider weaker tracks on here, in terms of what makes Nevertel so good and the reason why we get so invested into their music. And I think that there are moments on here where that shines, and there are moments on here where they lose me. And I can talk more about that later, but I do agree with Justin. I think that the giving both Raul and Jeremy plenty of opportunities for both of them to showcase their talents on here, they sound, at least just from a sonic perspective, as strong, if not better than ever.
Yep.
Not feeling this one as much as you guys.
Really?
I like it, but I don't think it's as amazing as the previous album. Or I don't know.
I think so. When we previously talked about Everything in My Mind, we had first of all, we had it for 2 weeks before it actually released.
I know I had to try and eliminate that bias.
Yeah, we also talked to the band and got their insights, but I think going at this with kind of an open mind, I think Everything in My Mind has a lot of variation that can be off-putting for a new person.
Mm-hmm.
I think this album is a great first start for anyone that's just getting into the band. It's great for a band that's newly signed to a very, very successful record label. And I think if no one else has heard Nevertel, I don't know how they're 1.3 fucking monthly listeners at this point. It's good that they put this out because it's very consistent. Every song is good, bar one. We'll get to that. Every song in here is consistent, I think everything in my mind has a lot going for it that I think would be off-putting for a new person coming into it.
Yeah.
It is much less approachable, especially I think the biggest example on here is something like Break the Silence that I can see. Sleep Theory is another big name band right now. I think that they fit really well together. That's a song structure that is a little bit more generic, I would say, but it's approachable for like, if I heard that on Octane, I'd be like, yeah, generic, this fits.
But because of Raul's rapping capabilities, it really helps make it stand out.
Yeah.
Like, even if the structure is generic, because Raul is such a unique vocalist in this sort of like Octane rock genre, that it doesn't blend in at all. Break the Silence is my favorite song on this album. And maybe a top 3 Nevertel song of all time for me. It's similar to what we were saying with the Poppy, Amy Lee, Courtney feature earlier, where it's like every vocalist gets their time to shine, and it feels like they all bounce off of each other so well. There are 4 vocalists singing on that song. You have Raul, you have Jeremy, and you have Cohen from Sleep Theory, and whoever, I don't know the name of their guitarist who does the harsh vocals in the breakdown, but he's in there too. And the fact that you can make all 4 of them sing on a 3-minute and 6-second song is really impressive. The fact that you can get so much in such a short amount of time and make it feel cohesive, seamless, not overbearing in any capacity. And I also just feel like it has some of the best moments on this album. Jeremy's verse in that pre-chorus, so what's it going to take if the dam breaks? You can't keep it in place with the floodgates. One of my favorite deliveries, maybe of the entire year, honestly, and has added a ton of replay value for me. And then when you get Colin from Sleep Theory doing his version of the delivery in the more sort of rock tone instead of Jeremy doing like a little bit more in like a softer voice, like I love the progression. It's just such a well executed song. It's like they did not hold back on that song in any capacity. There's some songs that like I can have my gripes with and be like, you should have done this instead. I struggle to name anything with how they executed Break the Silence that I would want to be done differently. And I think that is a testament to how it's been one of my favorite songs of the month and potentially one of my favorite songs of the year. Yeah, definitely like my clear favorite song on this album. Not to say that there aren't other good songs, because there's a lot of other good songs on here, but Break This, in the sense of like comparing to Everything in My Mind, whereas that album had No My Loneliness, this is like that song is just a cut above the rest.
Yeah.
This song does not reach No My Loneliness levels of peak, but it is like a cut above the rest as far as I'm concerned.
And I'd also like to, I really think from like a opener and closer perspective, I wasn't a big fan of Criminal when it dropped as a single because it felt a little short and hurried and rushed and a little not what I was expecting from Nevertel. But I think in the context of the album, and especially with the addition of track 1, the prelude, treating that as almost kind of one song, it really helps the pacing and energy going into the album. And I think that Ever After, both as a closer and as a song, is phenomenal. Justin, I know you mentioned it was your favorite,
my favorite, right?
Yes. Yeah. It is one of the better closers I feel like I've heard this year, both sonically and lyrically. I think that this album deals with a lot of feelings surrounding relationships and them ending and finding yourself, that I think is very classic Nevertel in terms of I'm going to write about something that is very personal and personable so that you can relate to it. I think that is where, not that it's consistent across this album, but I think that that's where Nevertel shines the most, is in creating music that is able to be connected to. And it's not just like there are demons in my head and I'm drowning in the undertow because I'm so depressed all the time type of deal, where it's like, yeah, I'm depressed, let me listen to the Amity Affliction. It's like, it's very specific situations and feelings that people who have been through them are able to connect to because the people writing it have also been through that. And I think that to bring up my point earlier about where I think this album struggles is, for me, I think that is Nevertel's greatest strength. They have incredibly talented vocalists. The entire band as musicians are incredible. But that songwriting ability is what distinguishes Nevertel the most, in my opinion. I think it was very present on Everything in My Mind, particularly on songs like Know My Loneliness, New Friend, Everything in My Mind, even Dark Cloud to an extent. And I think that here, there are enough songs, particularly Playground, which in my opinion is Nevertel's worst song.
Yeah.
I think that it is, sonically it doesn't fit, lyrically it is very poor. It's just a nothing burger of a song that, in my opinion, mars an otherwise great album, because you have songs like Good Intentions and particularly Miles Apart.
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
I was waiting for you to finish, but that was another one
Oh,
of my
yeah.
favorites.
And like we mentioned, Ever After. Like, to me, Good Intentions, Miles Apart, and Ever After are the three best songs in this album because they're the most, like, you can connect to them the most. You feel that emotion. You really get it. And
I will agree with you on 2 out of the 3 of those.
Okay. Which
Yeah,
is the
sure.
one you don't agree with?
It's Ever After, I know
It's
that
Ever
one.
After. It's Ever After.
Yeah, he doesn't like fun. It's all right. I ignore it.
Yeah, I
think we're the ones that don't like fun for not liking the Playground. I think that's on us.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I don't want to stick on it for too long, but yeah, I was really hoping that Nevertel could nail a closer after my whelming feelings about Dark Cloud, but Ever After has not stuck with me. It rounds out my bottom 3 with Playground and did it all.
Lame. Miles Apart.
Call it like it is, Justin. Call it like
Yeah.
it is. Speak your truth. Jake's truth is not allowed here. He's overruled.
Miles Apart, I think the lyrics in the chorus really sell that song for me. And so where do I go now whenever roads close down, my heart is a ghost town?
The delivery on that as well.
I mean, that's Rain City Drive levels of delivery. It's great. And then I Can't Watch the Sun Down. It brings up Too Much Now. I don't know where I start when my hand and heart, Miles Apart. Phenomenal chorus. Sacrifice, the lead single into this, still holds up very well. I think it is the easiest song to connect between the previous album and this one.
Yeah, I think I would agree.
Yeah. There are just so many good moments on here. I know that I talk a lot about what bothers me, but it bothers me because the rest of the album is so good, and I really, really wish it stuck that landing, because if there are like 1 or 2 things that are different on here, I feel like this is a genuine like top 3 album of the year contender for me, just based off of the delivery, the lyrics, the way that this band really, continues to find themselves, and the themes and messages that they relay, the talent of the band members. It's all here. The album is well worth a listen. It feels like it could have been album of the year, and it's not, because of things that are blatant. And that's what gets me. If I got an album of the year, I shouldn't want to skip a song every time it comes on. And for me, that is Playground. It's just too weak, in my opinion. It doesn't need to be there. I don't think it says anything that hasn't already been established way stronger and better earlier on in the album, or potentially afterwards. Yeah, I don't know why it's there. Quite honestly,
I mean,
I'm
take it off, throw in like a ballad or something to like separate starting over and
honestly, man, something
Like,
that's like
I
a
think-
little more thematic to starting over after talking about all these things that you've gone through earlier on the album. It's like when Architects put Seeing Red as the second to last track after showing that they didn't need to be heavy. For the rest, like, together, like, why, man? Stop! You're this close to achieving like almost perfection. Why have we done this? But I digress. In all that to say, it's a fantastic album. I love it.
Criticize this so much because we
Album.
hella enjoy this band.
I want to highlight, there's only one song that I don't think we've touched on at all yet, and that's Some Things. which was a single that we didn't discuss as a single when it came out because we were saving it for this album discussion. But Some Things is phenomenal. It really pulls at the heartstrings. Jeremy's delivery on that, it hits the emotional chord that he's been known to hit on many songs before. But yeah, Some Things is fantastic. And I think that for the same reason that Some Things is so great is the same reason why we love Good Intentions and Miles Apart so much.
Yeah, I think Some Things, the very like the dichotomy between Raul's rapping and kind of being like a slower build to like the very high chorus that Jeremy does, I think really sets that song apart.
I love their dynamic across this whole album. It's good.
Other than Playground.
It is like now that I Prevail has separated Brian and Eric, I think this is like the next duo to like really, really clear the scene.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Hopefully it doesn't.
I hadn't thought about that, but
that album's not in here, but it is
for good reason.
I haven't heard it, so
mid.
All right, let's get this train moving. We still have 3 more albums to get through.
Wait, it's not a train. We got to get in the lore. It's a spaceship now.
True.
No, if I had a nickel for every band in this playlist that had a spaceship themed album with
you'd have like 3 or 4 nickels. It would be wild.
Oh yeah, wait, it would be. I didn't even think about that.
Anyways, FOXCULT have released their debut album, Watercolors, The Emerald Grove.
I'm making a claim right now. Eclipse, feature of the year, coming in.
There are multiple good features on here.
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite songs of the month.
So this is their first album with the newest vocalist. What is it, Tiade or Tiade? Somebody correct me if I'm mispronouncing that.
I want to say it's Tiade, but I could be wrong.
Okay. I just want to make sure. And first and foremost, incredible ad. I feel like, and for context, the 2 albums or 2 EPs that FOXCULT released prior to this, and especially the Indigo Fault, my favorite EP of all time. Love it. I think that with the previous vocalist, Audrey, the band was missing a level of vocal dynamics to allow them to diversify their sound. And I think that Tiade coming in has given them that range. It is a band that sounds revitalized, that they can branch out to do different sounds, that it's not just, oh, well, we can experiment with this, this, and this. It's, we're going to do this, and it sounds really good and polished and refined. I mean, this was replacing a vocalist, and we'll get to this in the next album too, but replacing a vocalist is never something easy for a band to undergo, because I mean that's the voice of your band, right? But I feel like the core identity of FOXCULT has been so well established that bringing in a new vocalist just gives them the ability to branch out and do different things and do them well. I mean, this, we can get into specifics, but I thought this was a great album.
Yeah, this was the Dark Horse top 10 contender that I didn't expect.
They really stuck the landing with this one.
Like, I enjoyed the singles, other than Square Zero, which is the closer. I didn't love that as a single. In context of the album, I think Square Zero is great.
I didn't listen to any more singles after City of Rust dropped.
Yeah.
And I think City of Rust, The Emerald Grove, and Watercolor Memory, which is my favorite song on here, are also just as good in context of the album as they were as singles. And now in context of the album, they are also surrounded by other phenomenal songs like The Great Explorer as the opener, Eclipse as Justin had mentioned. And then I really like Rubicon.
Rubicon's good. Evergreen is also very good. Watercolor Memory. Oh, there's so much.
The melody in Watercolor Memory might be one of the catchiest things I've heard all year. It's gotta be all for me. Maybe this is all I need. Saw it right before my eyes, begging to let inside, just a taste, and it's all I crave. Calling me now, and I can't behave. Spiraling inside of me, telling me I'm finally free. Can't deny the fever. Warning signs burn away. Maybe I'm a believer. The thrill that streeds me away. The thrill that leads me astray. I completely butchered that. My bad. It's just the delivery on that line is incredible. Or those lines, rather.
Absolutely. And I remember when we did our after hours that it was like, okay, well, we've got, the indigo fault before. It's kind of the purple for the EPs. And now we're going into green, and green symbolizing, like, I don't know if this was stated, but I feel like in general, it's like life or rebirth or renewal, that sort of thing. And you have lines like on The Great Explorer, I've been searching for the reason, now I've got you like a shooting star. Or The Index, where endless road with a sign pointing to the unknown, I'll follow it down for a new tomorrow. That we're moving the lore and story along, and I'm not as up to date with all of the lore like I should be. But just the idea of being lost and then finding that purpose and trusting it and seeing where it'll lead you is present throughout this entire album. And really feels like it's driving the narrative for FOXCULT forward in a way that not only makes me intrigued to delve into the album, but also excited for future listens, which is not something very many bands can do across one album, let alone their entire discography.
Oh, yeah.
FOXCULT have reason to be proud of that.
I also want to highlight Evergreen as track 2, which is this like interlude between The Great Explorer and Eclipse. Very rare that you see an interlude as a track 2 on an album, but I feel like it helps the pacing and set up how grand Eclipse is as a song so well. That's, I think, one of this album's biggest strengths is just the pacing. This really feels like a very cohesive listen, even though there's a wide variety of sounds on here, where you get a song like City of Rust, which is heavy and in your face. And then you get something like Watercolor Memory, which is very soft and soothing and calming to listen to. Rubicon is pretty industrial and riff focused. And then Signal Lost is this very, I don't want to say ambient, but it's a very calming, sort of relying on like, I don't know if it's strings necessarily, but it has that like orchestral calming feel to it that I think works really great given where it is on the album.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it's a really well structured and paced album in a year where I haven't felt that very much. Yeah, I've enjoyed a lot of albums this year, but mostly just off of the quality of songs. Whereas this felt like a proper experience.
And that's where FOXCULT always excels. I mean, again, the reason that the Indigo Fall is my favorite EP of all time is because it feels like go on a journey. And the fact that they succeeded with that in the subsequent EP and now on the album, like they're the core like writing talent of this band. And as far as I know, Audrey was also involved in the writing process. So losing somebody like that and still being able to pull off the same effect, not only on an EP, but on a full-length album, and the pacing of everything is incredible. And I also, I've mentioned Audrey more than any other band member, and they're not even there anymore. I think instrumentally, the highlight of this album is the drums. There are so many cool little like random hi-hats in places that like help elevate the song. I shouldn't say random, but like it's, I just like did this insane drum lick. Let me throw in a hi-hat because it helps like break up some of the sound and like take that like kind of sonic journey type of thing, the ups and downs. The guitarist, Ashley, strong range of leads and low-tuned guitars. Again, Tiede as a vocalist. The bass work on this album was incredible. Instrumentally, I think this is one of the most solid albums that we've had all year. I do have one complaint.
Before you get to the complaint, I
yes.
still want to. I never got a chance to elaborate on why I think Eclipse is good.
Yes, go for it.
Fucking Dylan's vocals just fit so well in this. The emotion that he's able to convey fits so well in this song. His lyrics, heartbreak and memories, they're all gone, so you can see the light that guides, the light that brings, the light that guides, the light that brings. I want to be your memories. I want to be your everything. It's just his cadence. It flows so well. Like even if like Dylan wasn't one of my favorite vocalists, like this song would still be phenomenal.
I don't want to forget about just a little bit of humming that he does before he actually starts to sing.
Yeah.
Again, like when I'm talking about the pacing, it's just a little thing like that like you don't have to do that, but you did, and it's awesome.
And for a feature that I feel like we haven't particularly mentioned as much, I do want to give a shout out to the Cartographer feature on Midori Sunset.
Yeah, I was about to go to that too. That's also very good.
That song is my favorite on the album, and I think Nick, who is the guitarist and producer for Cartographer, I believe. Well, I shouldn't say this; I have no idea. But there's a little guitar solo on the song, and I don't know if that's Ashley or Nick. I think it might be him since he's directly credited. But either way, fantastic instrumentally, vocally. I mean, just an incredible song. In praising him, he is also responsible for my one complaint of this album. He also co-produced or mixed this album. And the reason that I can't get into Cartographer as much is the way that the drums are mixed comparative to the vocals and the lower guitar tones. For some reason, whenever... And this wasn't present on the previous EPs, so I'm blaming him, maybe unjustifiably. But it happens in Cartographer too, and it's whenever the guitar tones get low, it sounds like they're muddy. And instead of supporting the vocals, they kind of fall in line with them, and it makes for a much less pleasant listening experience for me. And that wasn't really present at all on the previous album. And I think that the effect that it ends up doing is taking away and detracting from the whole like stargaze sound that they're trying to develop as a part of their core identity. Like we get it on songs like Eclipse and Midori, Signal Loss, Emerald Grove, but those don't have as low of guitar tones. And the more things get low, like especially on City of Rust, the more muddy the mix becomes, and it's a little off-putting. But when that is my only complaint on the album, like I'll put my hands up and be the first to say it's minor, but it's like
we've got an answer from Ash in the chat right now.
Yes,
that it's due to issues from the stems that they gave to Nick. Apparently.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Well, that makes me feel... I feel justified in the sense that I'm not crazy, but then I also feel bad. So sorry, Nick. But no, I mean, just all that to say that this is an incredible album to the point that my only complaints are minor about the mixing when the guitars get below a certain point. Like, I cannot... I wouldn't say that it's to the same level for me as the EPs were because I connected with them so heavily. But to be able to consistently pull off something of this caliber for 3 straight releases at this point, incredible. This band is unbelievably talented. And they are at, 62,000 monthly listeners now? I believe at the time that we did our after hours, it was like, 14, 15,000? So they're seeing a lot of success, but more.
I think the song featuring Dylan, Eclipse, I think that one's been pulling a lot of numbers for them in particular. I
think they're also opening for Voila.
Oh, okay.
Like this Friday or something, I think. I don't remember.
Lyrically, instrumentally, vocally, I mean, there are few bands, I feel like, in the scene that are of this caliber across the board, in my opinion. I
can't really name one. Like, the other one would be, like, a lot of people compare him to STARSET. But, like, STARSET's also been doing this for a while, and they're like...
STARSET.
As far as I'm concerned, STARSET should be taking notes from this.
That's where I'm saying. I'm like, the sound is so fresh, and STARSET's kind of, like, stuck in that kind of rock metalcore kind of style.
That is really the biggest thing, and with what I'm talking about like I really wanted to lean into that stargaze sound is no other band sounds like them. Like when they are in their bag, they are in their bag. Like it is, it's a phenomenal album. I appreciate too, in my complaint about Toxic by STARSET, that it was too on the nose. That I feel like the theme and the story here is something that is always implied rather than directly told. And that allows for more imagination in terms of how you're visualizing the story and the narrative. And it makes for like there's like the 4D or 5D movie theaters, so they like spray you with water or like put like fake flames around. Like that's kind of how I feel, especially on the EPs, but on this album as well. I was struggling to see how they could top the EPs, given how much I love them. But I feel like instead of any step down, this is like a lateral move in the right direction. And with time, a new vocalist, new writing, they better get big. I'm going to be so mad. I'm genuinely going to be so upset.
Yeah, I have
like, come on. We got Memphis Mayfire over here. Like,
I have the pleasure of hearing them live a couple years back when Nightlife. When that was
I wish I'd gone to that, man.
It was so good. Like live, they are very, very good. And they sound incredible, and it's only gonna get better.
My closing thought on this album is that I did not love the EPs. FOXCULT have made a claim to be one of the most improved bands of 2025 for me off of this album.
Yeah, a lot more accessibility here than was previously there, I think. But also the basis of their sound that's translated over to here has also been refined and presented in a bit of a different way. A little less 2011's post-hardcore-y in terms of the post-hardcore influences, along with the Stargaze sound, and more modern. And I think that this album and the monthly listener increase reflects that. This is great.
I'm going to take a little step back here for this next album.
I honestly want you to take a step up, Jake, because
okay, fine. It's fine.
Gavin Dance have put out their newest album, Pantheon. Which is their first with Andrew Wells as lead vocalist rather than backup vocalist and guitarist. The first non-Tillian album in 12 years. Tillian was the vocalist that they had for the longest. They put out, 6 albums with Tillian. And a lot of people, they released Speed Demon and Straight from the Heart, which were a little rushed. They had a different mixer than usual. No Chris Crummett on the track. People were like, it's over. It's cursed. It's done. Then the album drops. They have grown on me, I will say. But like the reception for those songs was not great. Comparative to like the last time that they dropped a single like that was Headhunter and Bloodwolf, which everybody, even Jake likes Headhunter. Like this is in the conversation, in my opinion, for the best Gavin Dance album. I would stake that claim. If my two favorite Gavin Dance albums are Instant Gratification and Acceptance Speech. And if you sat me down and said, is this as good as those albums? I would tell you yes.
Don't think I agree.
Okay.
And that's because of one reason. And I think it's Descend to Chaos is not... It's a good closer, but it's nothing like an Evaporate or a Man of the Year for me.
True.
That's an interesting question. Is Descend to Chaos the first Gavin Dance closer that I like? Let's figure this out.
I think
it's gonna skip right its closer name and listen to the full album.
Let's figure this out. Oh, this is gonna take a while. There's so many Gavin Dance albums.
Okay,
I can name them for you if you want me to.
Well, I need to look at which one is in my playlist because, like, I have not listened to any of these other Gavin Dance songs not named Headhunter in years. So, depending on which one of them are in my playlist is going to determine my answer here. And it looks like this is the only Gavin Dance closer that is in my playlist. So,
let's go. And look, they they love doing closers like this, because for every Evaporate and Man of the Year, you have a Lost, you have an Into the Sunset, you have a Descend to Chaos that's less about being an epic closer and more about being the final like crescendo to the album and being a little bit more dramatic than anything else. Like it's almost more thematic and cinematic than anything else. And I think that it fits really well. Gavin Dance do an incredible job of pairing the second to last song and the last song. It's like always, it's that way across every single album. And recently it's been a heavier song as the second to last. We had Yikes, you had Say Hi, Swallowed by Eternity on Jackpot Juicer.
Say Hi? No, that's wrong.
No, that's the second to last song on the Afterburner, isn't it?
No.
Album of the Year in 2020.
It's the one with...
Oh, It's Nothing Shameful. Oh, yeah, I usually skip that one. That might be a blasphemous take.
That's like the best song on the album.
Dude, no. For some reason, I think it's Tillian on that one, honestly. Sometimes he's annoying. And I say this as my favorite band of all time.
On that one now.
Good, as he should be. Sergio, by the way, rest in peace, Tim Furyk. Sergio has done an incredible job filling the role of bassist in this band. I mean, when you lose somebody like Tim Furyk, who is so integral to the core identity of the band and the groove that they have, it's hard shoes to fill. Sergio's come in and done an incredible job. The instrumentation across this album, in particular the drumming, Matt Mingus is a fucking wizard. I do not know. We've already got Will Swan, who in my opinion is one of the greatest guitarists of all time, but I don't know how Matt does some of the stuff on drums that he's doing on this album. I mean, it's insane. And I think that what this album is the band having fun again. It is no longer the Tillian show, all right? The guy, the early albums sounded great. Post Mothership, maybe Artificial Selection, definitely feels like Tillian was running the show. It was Tillian and Gavin Dance supporting him. And I mean, you got the guy singing in fucking Spanish for his then fiance, telling her that she's so hot that she's causing global warming. Like we can't be letting this happen. Okay?
Is that what that song's about?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think literally the translation is like the way your body moves causes global warming. And I'm like, dude, no. Get away from me. Stand back. That song doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
Wasn't that your album of the year?
Yeah, it was. And it shouldn't have been, in hindsight. I listened to that album so many times with that song removed that it just erased itself from my mind. And I was able to like, yeah, no, But what this album, it doesn't feel like it's Tillian's album or, going back, it's not Johnny Craig's album. It's not Kurt Travis's album. This is John Mess's album. And Andrew is there to help support. John sings. He screams in like 7 different ways across this entire album. You have a song like The Stickler that not only has Andrew singing and John singing, it's got Will screaming, it's got Andrew screaming, it's got John screaming. There's an entire second verse where they're alternating the screams back and forth in each headphone. It's incredible. There's some of John's favorite delivery, where he's like mocking himself kind of with his delivery on the Conqueror Worm. There's the blew it in the worst way, fuck me delivery on Midnight at McGuffey's, which is like one of my favorite moments on the album. It's just it's almost Mothership-esque, like Young Robot, in terms of how groovy and funky the guitar and the bass is across this entire album. It's like you'll see this thing sometimes, I guess, in like sports and esports, where every individual player is like peaking at the right time and goes on like some generational run. I think that's what this album is to me. Because Andrew coming in has switched things up, they are in their bag. They are all peaking at the right time. They are doing whatever they want without the constraints of somebody fronting the band that has an ego. And I think that it is really, really reflected in each of these. And I really want to highlight especially the Robot with Human Hair Rebirth, which in my opinion is the best song on this album and has oh yeah. And I don't say that lightly, because I could name about 5 others that I think would also take that title. But that like little vocal run Andrew does halfway through the song, the switch up, the delivery on shoring up in the chorus, the way that they're just constantly subverting their own expectations and shifting the tempo and where they want to go with the song. It's a 6-minute song, and it's just, I'm sitting there like that SpongeBob ascending picture for the entire damn thing. It's incredible. There's that bridge on Strawberry's Daughters where it's just Andrew screaming, and it caps off like, fuck them, fuck you. It's like, that's the energy of this album. It's fuck the haters, fuck people on Reddit, fuck you, we're going to do whatever we want, and we don't care. We're going to have fun again. We're going to subvert expectations. We're going to create something that's groovy and funky and fun for the hell of it, because we're musicians that love what we do. And like, I also think that what makes this album so good and unique in terms of being a Gavin Dance album is half the time, usually in the past, or more than half the time, John just be saying shit, right? Like I'm thinking about Petting Zoo Justice on Mothership, where like, fat rat faces fruit bat, horse comes out, clip clop, the shark comes out and like beats your parents up or some shit like that. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? But this, John is talking about how like, oh, like I would cope with my problems by smoking a shitload of weed, and it turns out that it was clouding up my art and like my ability to be a creative, which I don't know how that's possible because of some of the things he was writing. But it's like, I want to say I saw somewhere that the band, as a part of the creation of this album, agreed to be sober, like as a mutual band pact. And I think that they've gotten really personal a lot of times on lyrics on this album in terms of reflecting both John and Andrew's personal lives. I also think that Yikes in particular, which is my second favorite album, and On the Right Day, my favorite. John Mess's chorus of sure I suck, I laid it up, I made a crunch, I wasted love, I waited up, my painless numb, afraid of love and scared of us. Everything I did, I made it up. They ate it up, I'm not enough. I made it cut, we're not enough. I wasted us, ashamed of us. Everything I touch, it turns to dust. I played it dumb, then played it up. I'm not enough, I made it up. I ain't enough, I made it up. And then he goes, and then I go pack that bowl. You know, I have all these thoughts and things that I need to confront with my past and with myself. And then I go smoke weed and forget about it and just chill. And I think that song in particular about like feeling like coming to terms with the fact that like you're getting older, you've done these things, you've done wrong by people, you've not confronted the problems within yourself, and you've just straight up ignored it. And you don't want to think those things because they're heavy thoughts. And you know, why would you confront that if you could just go pack a bowl and chill out for the day and go to bed and wake up the next day and do it all over again? And there's so many there. Every other song feels like, okay, we're showing you how good of musicians we are. But in reality, we're dealing with these things. We judge our own art. We feel like we're not enough. You know, there's a line on here and I forget which song it's in, and it's going to bother me that I can't remember, but that they meant like, I was meant to be swallowed up by my own art. Oh, it's in All the Way Down. I was meant to suffocate in my own art, but the strength of the medium's falling apart. That they're just so self-aware on this album in a way that consistently between John and Tillian has ever been present. And so it feels more personal than any other Gavin Dance album has, really. And Descend to Chaos is just one of those theatrical closers. Animal Surgery has the fucking chorus of the year, as far as I'm concerned. I know, Jake, you weren't as much a fan.
That is my favorite song, Animal Surgery.
Oh, it's incredible.
And I really like the Conqueror Worm as well.
Yes.
Especially like the da 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 da.
Uh-huh. Yeah, the melody. That's one of the things that like John, his lyrics there, I mean, they're make sense, but it's also like between him and Andrew doing the da 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 thing in the background, it really just feels like they're both using their voices as instruments and playing along with the band. And yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of Midnight at McGuffey's or All the Way Down as singles. Context of the album, fuck yeah, dude. We get finished with one of the best openers I've heard all year, and the first thing I hear is, wow! Like, yes, that's how I feel. That was my exact reaction the first time I finished Animal Surgery. What a standalone sentence. Good Lord. Veterinary school.
I really hear Idola on like the intro of Yikes. It sounds like exactly like an Idola song. And I think we got 2 Andrew Wells albums this year. It's crazy.
Right? We had a third one last year. Eviscerate was last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. But it wasn't very good.
No eviscerate.
No.
That album was a banger.
Out of here.
I still haven't gone back and re-listened to it after Men, but
You should.
Yeah, it's. I don't think we're gonna get another year where we get 2 Andrew Wells albums, and I enjoy. I enjoyed Mend and I enjoy this. I think I enjoy Mend more, but I still like. I can appreciate that. Like, this is obviously better than the last album for Dance Gavin Dance. I don't know where I'd place it in my. I don't think it's my favorite Dance Gavin Dance album, but it is definitely a step up from the last one.
Jake, is this your favorite Dance Gavin Dance album?
Dog, I don't know. I have 5 of these songs in my playlist, and I couldn't tell you a thing about any of them.
That's more than me.
This album is about as memorable as the I See Stars album was.
Oh man, the reason why I ask is because I know that past albums you haven't really connected with, and you've gotten maybe a song here or there. So when you say like 4 or 5 at the onset, I was like, oh, hold on.
That's like my average on a Dance Gavin Dance album is usually like 3 to 5 songs. I'm like, I've never been 50%. I'm always like somewhere between like 20 and 40% of the songs, whatever that math accounts to, depending on how many songs there are on the album. The 5 for this album that I have in my playlist currently are Strawberry Daughters, Space Cow Initiation Ritual, A Shoulder to Cry On, The Peak of Superstition, and Descend to Chaos.
All near the end.
Yep.
It's the opposite of the Grandson album.
Yes.
Back heavy for you.
Yeah.
That, and you mentioning Space Cow Initiation Ritual, the last thing that I wanted to say is the George Clinton feature, because this album leaked like, I don't know, 2-3 months before it actually came out. And of course I listened to it because I'm curious. And I was like, wow, this is album of the year already. But Will Swan was doing the George Clinton feature parts on the leaked version. He wasn't actually on it yet. And once he is, dude, the little like coughs and like, yeah, in the left ear every once in a while is so nice. A lot of people don't like it. I'm like, dude, this guy is bringing a level of funk to the funkiest band in existence. What do you mean you don't like it? It's like the people who don't like the auto-tune on Andrew's voice at some point that they use like stylistically rather than to correct the fact that he can't sing, because it's Andrew fucking Wells. The guy could sing the alphabet and I would be happy. Like, it's just that the complaints that I see from like active Dance Gavin Dance fans about this album are so nitpicky about a band that at its core wants to be groovy and have fun. They do that on every track on this album. I can understand not being a Dance Gavin Dance fan coming into this and being like, I'll save a couple. It's not for me. Totally understandable. People who liked the previous albums but don't like this, get your ears checked. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's an absolutely incredible album. I had no expectations based off the singles and the 2 standalone songs before this. Front to back. Phenomenal. Their best in at least 7 years, if not 10, if not maybe ever.
Yeah, incredible stuff. Favorite.
Hell yeah, dude. Andrew Wells enjoyer.
Yeah, I'm looking at.
I'm the Andrew Wells enjoyer.
Saved 7 songs.
Actually, maybe not.
Hell yeah. I'm curious, what's your favorite?
Honestly, it's a tie between Robot with Human Hair and Strawberry's Daughters.
That's what I would have thought.
But
I think Strawberry's Daughters is my favorite as well.
I really like Peak of Superstition and A Shoulder to Cry On.
Justin and I are pretty much in alignment, except Justin likes a few more than me. That's neat.
Yeah, I also think that... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Like, given my track record with Dance Gavin Dance, you're really expecting me to spend a lot of time with this album when Nevertel and FOXCULT...
yeah, right.
And
released on the same day.
Are dropping all on the same day.
Icy Star. Lorna Shore.
Famous Lorna Shore fan.
Yeah, this album was just kind of doomed from the get-go for me.
Yeah. Oh, that did drop on the same day. That was right. I haven't listened to it. Has anybody else?
Fuck no. Why the hell would I do that? I've already heard it. I've listened to their last 2 or 3. Hell, you could have listened to the Hellfire EP and you heard the... Yeah, literally. Like, I've heard the EP, I've heard the album. No,
I wish I had more to say about this, but given that it dropped on the most stacked release day of the entire year for me, and it's a band that I am historically mostly uninterested in. I don't think I listened to a song that I added to my playlist more than 5 times. Like, I listened to it like 2 or 3 times the day of just to affirm, like, okay, yes, I do actually like this song, and then that was kind of it.
If I could extrapolate to like last.fm the amount of times that this song was played from my phone files, it would be
Can you not do that?
Well,
I feel like you can do that.
It wasn't local on Spotify. It was, I downloaded it to my phone files.
But you can still do that.
And I listened in the thing. Oh, maybe then. All right. Well, we're in Gavin Dance shooting to 2,000 yearly plays.
You just have to enable it on your last FM, I think.
Okay. Noted.
If you have an Android, I don't know.
Oh, no, I don't. I got an iPhone.
Maybe that
might be cursed. Yeah, no. Apple doesn't like cross functionality.
Well, I've switched now, unfortunately.
And I switched from Android to iPhone.
Worst decision ever, except the camera. That's the only
camera is a banger.
Yeah. I wish I could run Android on iPhone hardware. That would be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, any other thoughts on this Gavin Dance album, or have we got everything across?
I said everything I wanted to say, as minor as all my points were. I mean, as little as I had to say about it.
That takes us to our final album for the September recap. We have the debut album from Royal Sorrow, Innerdeeps. It's been a minute since we last talked about this band. I don't know if we talked about any of the singles since Metrograve last year.
I think we may have talked about either Evergreen or something else. No,
Either way.
I don't think anything else.
It's been a minute since we last talked about this band. And if you haven't heard them, I highly recommend it because this might be instrumentally my favorite album I've heard all year.
I haven't heard them, Jake.
I haven't either. Sell me.
This is like progressive metalcore meets, it's like somewhere between an Unprocessed and a Reliqa.
Yeah, this is a better version of Unprocessed, I would say.
A better version of Unprocessed.
Like some of the progressive guitar riffs and drum fills, and there are so many instrumental moments on here that are super memorable. I have to give a shout out to my favorite song on here, which is Bloodflower. You get this beautiful, soulful guitar solo that's like so calming and relaxing that builds into arguably the heaviest moment on this album in that ending breakdown with a chunky ass riff. The opening to Survival Complex is just 30 seconds of what could be an interlude track with just like this super distorted guitar tone to kick off the song. You get so many incredible riffs and solos across this entire album. And the other band I wanted to compare this to is Era, actually.
In terms of sound or technicality?
Which era of Era?
I've only heard modern Era, so the modern era of Era.
It could be good. It could be bad.
But yeah, this is like, I think a lot of my reference to Era comes from the song length. Like, other than Let Go, every song on here is at least 4 minutes long, with a couple running close to 6 minutes. And a lot of them have a more drawn out progressive song structure. You get a lot of instrumental breaks on this album. You get a lot of verses. You don't get a lot of songs that are just verse chorus type beat. It's just every song on here has something that makes it stand out. Whether it's Let Go in the relatively simplistic vocal delivery and lyrics, but the very uplifting atmosphere that the drums and the guitars provide, to the whatever the fuck sound it is on Metrograve that makes it sound like a clock is ticking constantly. To Bloodflower, as I already mentioned, that very soulful, slow, ballady section into these brutal riffs. In Survival Complex, you get the main breakdown, like the halfway point of the song, where you get this like very chopped up vocal delivery of stuck inside and echo chamber, and then it just goes into this gnarly ass riff that is so fucking cool. And again, it's like this album's just the full package. For it being a debut album, you get so many cool instrumental moments. You get so many fantastic vocal moments of both Queen singing and some harsher deliveries as well. As I already mentioned, like, incredibly memorable instrumentation. No song really sounds like it feels the same. The pacing and flow of this album feels really cohesive. It doesn't ever feel like it drags on, which is impressive given that this is like a 46-minute long album with most songs running 4 to 5 minutes long. Some like Bloodflower and Innerdeeps running close to 6 minutes. I was engaged throughout my entire listen on here. If I had to pick some weaker songs on here, I would say that Samsara and Evergreen are both just okay. But
Incorrect.
beyond that, I love this album. This is what I hoped that Royal Sorrow would deliver when they announced this album. And even though I had heard most of this album as singles, by the time that Bloodflower into Survival Complex came out 2 weeks before the album drop, you drop the two of the three best songs on this album as singles just before the album drop, and my excitement for this album was peaking at the right time. And yeah, they delivered on this one. Justin, I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of already had everything I was gonna say. I would say Evergreen is probably my favorite. I love it's kind of a slower song. The chorus kind of picks up just a little bit, but then toward like the 3.5 minute mark, it picks up suddenly with the drums and just kind of has a little bit of an unclean portion that really kind of kicks that song off. And I think it's really well done. Metro Graves, the lead single, is very good. Debut single, mind you, from this band. Looking Glass, Bloodflower, I thought was good. My only gripe was this is the same gripe I have with most prog metal, where it's too long. I think this is a 10-track album at 45 minutes.
It does run long.
Pretty long.
To me, that wasn't a problem, but I can see how, for some people...
Derek, you have no opinion. You listen to like 6-minute songs every day.
Well, I was just going to say, I've got Justin telling me it's too long. I got Jake telling me it doesn't feel its runtime. I got conflicting opinions here. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow and find out.
If you want a taste test, just to gauge your interest, because we talked about Metrograve, and I remember you had kind of middling thoughts on Metrograve. I would recommend starting with either Give In or Survival Complex. I think that you will get a good idea for what the album sounds like based on either of those songs. And I would suggest Bloodflower, but I think Bloodflower is the best song on here, and I think you would rather save that for the album experience.
Same with Give In being second to last. Listen to Survival Complex.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this album. Or just listen to the whole thing. You don't even need to do a taste tester if you're already convinced.
You know what? Yeah, I think I'm going to.
Yeah, this was a phenomenal album. I really enjoyed this. And that's going to wrap our September 2025 recap.
You know, coming into the month, I thought it'd be a lot longer. I say as we approach the 3-hour mark, but
yeah,
you know,
there were
3 hours.
Definitely singles that I had to cut because we would have run much longer.
Yeah, there's a lot I would have liked to have talked about. Justin, do you want to go and riff off some stuff real quick?
Nameless Planet was a band I don't think we talked about. They had a good song called Outcast, was good. Blessed Falls Caskets feature was very good on that album.
Yep.
There's another new band that I listened to called Beyond the World Ahead with their song Eden Sank that I thought was very, very good, but I just, over what I had to cut, I had to choose 4, and it just barely didn't miss it. Last but not least, Tom Byrne of Galleons featured in a song from Patient 67 called Feel Alive, and that's probably like one of Tom's best features, but I picked the better of the two Tom Byrne songs.
That's fair. I need to give a shout out. Letters Sent Home dropped this new song this month off of their deluxe album coming out at the end of this week as we're recording this. I really liked the new Prada song that came out this month.
I can't listen to it.
Yeah, I know.
I haven't heard it.
We're saving it for the album. I really liked it. Also need to give a shout out to the new album from fall to spring. Silverstein's new album was great. Not Enough Space. Derek, I would recommend you giving that one a check. It's a more extreme version of Conquer Divide. So I was like half of the album I didn't like. If you remember, we talked about Eye for an Eye.
I recognize this album cover.
I didn't like half of the album. The other half of the album I really enjoyed. I just didn't want to throw it in here because we already had so much to talk about. And there's a number of bands we're going to be talking about next month. Of Mice and Men, Adept, and Dayseeker all dropped new songs over the month of September. All have new albums coming out next month, all of which were fantastic. Dream State dropped their best new single in years. Catch Your Breath dropped their first new song since Shame on Me came out. Dark Divine dropped a sequel to Halloween Town, which absolutely fucks, but I'm saving that one for when Dark Divine dropped their next album.
We got Don Broco single. We got Colorblind EP.
Yeah.
That was good. Villainous Story album was alright too. I don't know what else. I didn't listen to anything else.
Yeah, there was a lot. There's a lot for everyone that dropped in September.
I know you didn't finish the Dying Wish album, Derek. I Don't Belong Anywhere. That album opener.
Oh yeah,
it's real good.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Cinema.
Yeah. Fuck you.
Yep. Hey.
I didn't love the album as a whole, but that opener is great. And there's a number of songs in there that are more Queens driven, so I definitely liked it more than Symptoms of Survival. So yeah, September was an absolutely crazy month. As I mentioned, like I listened to like 14 fucking albums over the course of the month.
There's a Palisades song too. I didn't hear that.
No, that's just a fake release.
Fake.
Oh, I lied. There's no Palisades song. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, like as I said, I listened to so much music this month. I'm feeling a little exhausted, honestly.
I did not listen to.
Yeah,
I listened to K-pop Demon Hunters because that's all I heard in Korea.
Yo, they got some bangers on that album though. I can't lie.
I'm so tired of it, man.
Dude, I keep getting the fucking Fortnite K-pop Demon Hunters ad whenever I go to a YouTube video now, and I'm like, heard this before. I get it. Skip the ad. I also have been getting a shit ton of ads for MGK's new tour.
Oh god.
Like an MGK doing his pop punk thing.
I heard it was huge though. There's like the really long tour.
I haven't even looked at the dates and I have no interest. But yeah, that's gonna do it for our September recap. Like there's so much more that if time was not an obstacle, I'm sure we would have loved to have spent more time discussing other things, but for the sake of our sanity and yours, probably we tried to keep it to really just the stuff that we were the most passionate about this month. So that's going to do it for September. Stay tuned for our October recap because we have new albums coming out from Adept, Dayseeker, and actually I think of Mice and Men is a November release. I think I might have gotten that confused with something else. New EPs from Gore and Windwalkers have already come out.
I'll tell you.
And I'm sure there's other stuff that I'm forgetting, but October is going to be...
November 14th is Mice and Men.
So I was getting that one confused. My bad. But yeah, September was a stacked month. This train is not over yet. From what started out as 2025 being a kind of underwhelming year, I really think the back half of this year is picking up some slack.
Oh, absolutely.
We hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're getting close to 300 subscribers. We'd appreciate it. Hivemind Radio on YouTube. Hivemind Recap Podcast on Spotify and other podcast platforms. Hivemind Radio _ on Instagram and Twitter. We will see you next month.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya.
Bye.